Welcome to the AFC East Shakedown. I'm your host, Tommy, and joining me on the rest of the roundtable is Anthony from Jets Life Podcast, Mr. Juan representing the Patriots, and Curtis. Oh, Curtis.
I forgot my dunce cap. And my bag, my paper bag. I think I'm going to do a paper bag podcast someday.
Poor Curtis. We'll start the show. Yeah, we'll start the show with this for Curtis, because I'm sure this is what Curtis said after the game.
Congratulations for being shit. Well done for being shit, and well done for being shit. What was going on there? Where was the teamwork? Where was the spirit? Where was the communication? And what the fuck was going on?
So, Curtis, was that your thoughts?
Yeah, with beeps over the. I run a PG operation, but
PG.
My internal monologue was definitely that.
So only PG, but same. Yeah, kids out there.
Worse.
Well, it's better than your head coach.
I was saying the other day, can you imagine that guy send it? No wonder we're late to the line of scrimmage. Can you imagine that calling in the place? Blue 40, yeah, 52, Z out,
and then Mike cuts off, done. Who was like, what the fuck?
What the hell's this guy saying? You didn't finish it. 5-yard penalty. Damn it, Mike. Not again.
I just cannot believe he's still your head coach. I'm sorry. I don't think he's. Yeah, he's. Listen,
it'd be a miracle if he lasts to Halloween. It'll be a miracle,
and that's a great thing if you're a Dolphins fan if that happens. But let's dive into
win-win for me. We either beat the Patriots or we lose, and we lose these idiots.
Yeah, let's dive into week one. I guess we'll start right there. Dolphins and Colts. So we'll begin with you. You guys lost 33-8. Go ahead, Curtis.
I don't remember it, man. I think I went unconscious, got the concussion halfway through the game, man. Oh, Lord. Oh, that was just – listen, I've said it on the last show. I'm like, the Dolphins were like a 90-year-old geriatric patient without a rubber diaper on. They just wet the bed till it was saturated. It's so hilarious. You got all off season prepping for this sucker, and you go out and you totally defecate and urinate yourself in front of the public. And there you go. Teamwork. And McDaniel actually said, this is the greatest group of guys, teamwork I'd ever seen on any team I've been on. What a load of BS. That was fun, wasn't it? We just got beat up. It was over so quickly. I was coming home from church, and I had to watch it on the phone because I was running a little late. I'm like, what? I got to check to see if I was like a wrong year or something. I'm like, you got to be
wrong year.
By the time I got back, it was just like, it was over.
Yeah, I would play for the Colts again,
dude.
What? How was it happening?
I can't. I was. Listen, I picked the Colts to win, but I didn't think they were going to smash you. Juan, go ahead. Talk to us about this game, man. 33-8. Yikes.
I can't believe you let Daniel Jones look like prime Andrew Luck and Brian Peyton Manning on you, dude. Like, I can't believe that happened. You really have to talk about that offense, though, because those turnovers, the two will even get 115 yards in this game.
He had 58 yards.
Like, it's
almost 100. Yeah. It's almost 500 if you really think about it with a nice curve.
Like that offense, like that's what happened because the defense getting shredded. I'm like, it's week one. You guys having like no secondary, and the Colts offensive line is pretty decent. So you're like, it's gonna slow down your pass rush. So I'm like, I'm not surprised if Jonathan Taylor goes crazy and all that. But the offense, I'm like, I'm just sitting there like this while my team is playing okay for 30 minutes only, and I'm just like, what is happening to the Colts? I mean, to the Dolphins. I'm looking at my brother. I had like a whole party. I had to host a whole event. There's like 5 of us here. And I'm just looking at everybody like, dude, like, what the fuck throw was that from Tua? Why was he sailing on everybody? Why is he not hitting any throws? What is happening? I'm just sitting there like this. Like, if I'm a fan of with you, I'm just like, wow.
They totally look. They knew exactly what we're gonna do. We have limited menu. They ambushed everything. And then just Tua did to him, man. You know, like he doesn't always do that, but you don't want him to be he's not the quarterback to carry you. He doesn't have that sand in him like a Marino or something. He's supposed to be he's supposed to be like Mayfield, a piece of the puzzle, and he melted down. McDaniel, I thought, checked out. McDaniel was just like this. It's terrible.
You see the coach's face when it's over, or when they think it's close to being over. You can definitely see it in their face.
Yeah, you can see the end. Like,
he had that trauma look, you know. PTSD.
He normally does. Yeah, he always has that fucking look, though.
I remember one game he was holding the call sheet and it was shaking like this, dude. I'm like, oh Lord. He's Joe Philbin, who just won't admit he was queasy.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah,
Philbin. That was funny.
Yeah. Joe, Phil, Anthony, what you think about the 33-8, man?
I mean, I don't know. There's something in the water with this game that really stuck out to me as like being a potential like letdown spot for the Dolphins. But to see the result of 33-8, that's insane. I thought, you know, Colts would squeeze out a game. I thought Jonathan Taylor might kind of go off, and he got a game, but it wasn't even that. Like it literally was like them allowing, like I said, some just random ass like bullshit quarterback to go out there and
everything.
He's in the perfect framework though. That offensive line and those three tight ends are phenomenal, and they got three good receivers. He played pretty well though, even like in those moments.
Yeah, they brought the old Danny Dimes back after that one.
Yeah, he's dead.
Danny
But
Dimes.
He did a full dollar on us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what to say about this one. It's alarming, definitely, for the Dolphins. I think it's a wake-up call to hopefully the ownership over there that, you know, maybe you don't have the right infrastructure in place. And it sucks that that's coming out in week one for the fan base and for everyone there because, I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Jets situation last year. I didn't necessarily believe Saleh should have been the head coach to start the season. I think there was a lot of evidence in the year prior with Robert Saleh, you know, basically giving up on the season, reporting to media that basically we have no shot because Rodgers went down. When you have that coming from your head coach, that like you have no shot, and he's checked out of a season, that's alarming to let him stick around for another season. But yeah, it's early in the season, gives you time to adjust. I mean, you guys have a good guy out there, defensive coordinator, who could eventually become interim head coach. He got head coaching interviews. I guess this puts him trial by fire to try and like clear the crap, and maybe he's an option moving forward. But yeah, it's alarming. But I got to highlight former New York Jet Zach Wilson getting some playing time in this game. Not something you expected.
He did. I don't remember.
He did. Yeah, 63% completion percentage. Not too bad. So
yeah, garbage time.
Yeah, all those Colts are like
wow.
Sodas on the sidelines. Yeah.
Hey, it's Zach Wilson. Watch out. We're in
Is he the quarterback of the future for the Dolphins?
Oh yeah,
if he is, you're in some.
You'll probably
that's a new hopium line.
You're in real trouble. Yeah. Curtis, man, dude, I did pick the Colts last week, but I said I thought it would be a little closer. I thought the Dolphins, honestly. In my heart, or not my heart, I really honestly thought the Dolphins probably would win, but just because I'm an asshole, I did pick the Colts last week.
I say the same thing in reverse, Tommy.
Right, exactly. So like, at least I'm honest.
Opening day.
Yeah, but I did think if the Colts were to win, they would make it an ugly game. It was at home. I thought they run the ball, kind of just keep your offense off the field. Because when your offense gets going, we've seen it in the past. It can create a lot of points. 2 years ago, yeah. But when it gets going, right? 2 years ago.
Back in 2023.
I remember when I remember back then. But no, you guys. I mean, the start from the very start. It was from the get.
Listen, Tommy. My season was the kickoff. That was my whole season, the kickoff.
Yeah, it was a rough
time,
start.
Man. I felt that kickoff. I was like, man, this is good. Yeah, next year.
To Joe coming into a look like Zach Wilson.
He's taking some lessons from Zach Wilson for sure.
Let's see. Hello, fellas. Can Anthony start the season off with another memorable choo-choo? Yeah, go ahead.
We're not there yet. No, yeah. I'll give it choo-choo for the track. Choo-choo. But we're not there yet as Jet fans. There was a promise in one, but it's a little
Yeah,
too early.
we'll get to your game soon. But yeah, man, looking at your box score, Chua 14 to 23, 114. But I'm watching Red Zone.
Oh,
My
it was 114. I thought it was 58 yards. I don't know.
No, 114. But man, he threw some terrible interceptions. 2 interceptions. I think he had a fumble as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So just a rough game. And some of the passes were just, I don't know what he was doing. Terrible passes, which, like Curtis said, though, it is really, he doesn't do that often. Like, he's not that bad of a quarterback.
Well,
so it's surprising to see.
To his thing, though, he was like, I think, 8th or 5th in most receiver-led incompletions by 33%. So there was the Colts, they played over coverage, then once in a while they play under coverage. And it was McDaniel was like, "Oh, what's good? It's not following the game plan here. They're supposed to do this."
Yeah, I think that's my biggest knock on your coach too. And you could see it when Tua went out like for injury a couple times last year when you guys had to run with different quarterbacks. He doesn't know how to change the system up. He doesn't know how to, when things aren't going right, to adjust. Right, and he's just his play sheet, and it's like, dude, you got a whole different quarterback is totally different.
Like this,
right? He can't run the same offense, and then when things aren't going right, you got to switch it up, bro. And he doesn't, and that's why he's not a good head coach, and he's not a leader. He's not respected. And I'll tell you what, if you're a Dolphin fan, Anthony said it best early on. This is great, really, honestly. And if you guys lose to the Patriots, it's even better. Because you guys
Tommy,
you
don't understand.
This to happen.
My team's going to go just get enough wins for 7.
Maybe. Will they?
Yeah.
Will they? I don't know.
That's what my
Dolphins will tell us.
Right. I'll tell you what. When you see players on the sideline, and listen, Hill's a piece of crap anyways, but when you see players start to act the way he's acting and locker room stuff, and the quarterback's not like, the quarterback's already, with the star receiver already, he does, he has to earn my respect back. It's a fucking problem. You got a shit show running in Miami. It's a problem because honestly, if you have a problem between your quarterback and your star receiver, you got to get rid of one. You have to. That shit's just not going to work its way out. Like, especially with Hill,
Pittsburgh's looking to trade for Hill.
Then I would do it. You got listen. Not only that, I would blow everything up. Go ahead and get rid of what you can now. I would honestly hope for losses. Get whatever interim coach fills in for the rest of the season. You have plenty of time, and hopefully you fire a GM as well in the process. Plenty of time now to go. Okay, now you scout. You start scouting your coaches that you're gonna want to hire or bring in to interview. You got bro. That's the greatest way, right?
But it's up
to your owner.
Well, it allows you to
let your owner do it.
It allows you to cast a wider net. Something the Jets did last year when they fired Saleh. During the season, they did a lot of interviews with college coaches and stuff like that. And you really can't interview many people during the season because they're all still hired by other teams. It's usually after the season where you start getting that ability. But if you fire in mid-season, you have the whole college slate. You have hired coaches, maybe like retired coaches, like they're out there that, like McCarthy, for example. Not that you want him, but options like that are available for you to stand for an interview and see what they got to offer. For real,
I'd hire Gruden in a heartbeat without a question.
McCarthy?
I mean, I would. What do you think? Gruden, John Gruden. I hire Gruden in a fucking heartbeat. I wouldn't even. I'd give him whatever he wants because dude, that guy is when it comes to football, that dude, that's his life, man.
He's a changer, but he got too much power in Vegas, and I think that was a major problem.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
He can't draft.
No, that's okay. You bring a GM in and you get that situated. But coaching wise, that would be your best coach than Jimmy Johnson, bro. To be honest with you, I mean, it's been a long time since you guys had a guy. But
I love
this right now, what you got going on here, the combination of like Greer and McDaniel and all that, it's like Tua and Hill. It's not fucking working. Y'all got to just get rid of everything. And bringing in a new coach, too, and a new GM, you probably get rid of Tua as well. Like, he'll figure – you got all that will happen.
Yeah, that roster
they'll figure it out.
If you get rid of
it has to get blown up.
Yeah, that roster is not going to be the same.
You blow it all up. You start from – you're bad for a year or two, and hopefully things get going. But right now, man, your best hope is you lose games. Because you said, if you wind up winning and being okay this season, 9 wins or something, you know how that goes. Well, it was this, it was that, it was we came on strong.
I just don't know if another year of that buys McDaniel or Greer.
The owner, I didn't think last year would buy.
I didn't think so, but you can't stay stagnant, and I think I would like to think
you would like to think
another 8 or 9 win season. I would like to think that would bring enough noise to ownership to get
talk to Dolphin fans. Though there's some owners are
flying helicopters and planes over the game Sunday is what I'm hearing. Saying fire Greer, fire McDaniel. I heard
man,
the fans put a GoFundMe out there for that. But sometimes as a fan base, you got to do whatever you can to get the message to the ownership. Because sometimes ownership.
Yeah, the Jacksonville, I think it was 21. They dressed as clowns. Remember that game? Mind you, they won that game when they beat
Curtis left us.
Yeah,
I'm fucking sick of this talk.
Jacksonville in 21. I think
he probably started
the Liger year, where the all fan base dressed like clowns because they wanted to get rid of Urban Meyer so bad. I think they beat Indianapolis that game too. But then after that, they got rid of everybody was gone. Right after that.
In that same season, I gotta give the Jaguars fans a little credit for this because I thought it was funny. A lot of Jaguars fans on like Twitter and stuff like that were making their little like profile picture, a picture of their owner with a clown fucking nose on his face.
Oh, yeah, they were.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right though. When fans do let you know, and they really, really let you know, or when they don't go to the game and the seats are starting to empty out, like you would hope the owner eventually gets the clue, but. Their owner is Ross is Ross keeping Greer around as long as he has though. I mean, Greer's been there forever, bro. Yeah. I mean, just the fact that he's there throughout this mess tells you the owner is not the smartest guy. I mean, he may be smart money financially, he's a billionaire, but football wise, knowledge wise, like apparently he's missing the big picture here because it ain't happening with Greer and it ain't happening with McDaniel and. It sure as hell ain't happening with that team. That team
is a bad. What's weird about it too is like,
the worst. Yeah.
What's weird about it too is like certain teams will do that. Like obviously like the Ravens, for example, like they had they had the Ozzie for years and years and years and years. Successful GM, Hall of Famer from a front office perspective and as a player, but Hall of Famer in that aspect. And then they transition over DaCosta, who's their new GM. Obviously, you do that because the infrastructure is in place and it's been successful for such a long period of time. For the Dolphins, I mean, they've had Greer there for so long, but he wasn't there for like a period of time where they were successful. Like, it doesn't make sense to hand the baton over. When the Jets did it with when they had Parcells there and promoted Terry Bradway, that was a good move for them because he was there working under Parcells and they tried transitioning him over to keep that familiarity of what Parcells was building. With the Dolphins, it just didn't make much sense, and I think we're all kind of starting to understand that.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
and enjoy it. It's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
It is funny. Like I hate the Dolphins are my most hated team. I think because I grew up in South Florida and a Bills fan, and we had that '90s intense rivalry, but never liked the Dolphins. Just hate it. My whole family loves the Dolphins. I fucking hate them. Joe coming in. We think Greer has blackmail on Ross. Maybe. I mean, something's wrong there. Something has to be going on in order for that guy to stick around because it doesn't make sense. Alex, my favorite hate watch. Yeah. All right, so I think Curtis is just he's done, bro. He's tapped out. I don't know where he went. Look, do you see what's going on with the Dolphins? What they're doing to my friends? They're hurting my friends. Goddamn Dolphins.
Yeah, his feelings, they're hurt. They're bleeding.
Yeah.
They're done.
The guy's tapped out. He's done. Like, he went out to go do a nature walk. I don't know. He's sick of this shit. Right? Oh, he's back. He's back. After I think he went on his little walk. Curtis, you went on your walk. You cleared your mind.
I was trying to find a noose in the closet, but I couldn't find either, so I figured I'd come back.
Oh, Curtis, come on. We need you around here, buddy. We
do.
We were just talking about how great Greer's been. We were just trying to bring you back, and things are going to be okay, and he'll get it right. And
it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Where's my meds?
I just honestly, and we'll move on, but I don't get how any player in your locker room.
Dolphins?
Yeah, we are, because it's such a shit show. It's funny to talk about. I just don't. I mean, honestly, I don't get How does any player respect that guy? Like, he can't even talk to the media correctly. There's no way he talks to his players any different. Like, he has to be talking.
Team meetings have to be a joke. That has to be a show.
Bro, they have to be. And like, can you imagine? Does he get mad? Does he get upset or mad? I can't see it happening. Like, they're gonna probably be like, bro, get the fuck out of my face, that dog. You know what I mean? Like, he has no respect. There's no way. And I'll tell you what, I think he's a good coordinator, probably, and he needs to go back to being that, like he does. And he'll get a job somewhere. But coach,
I don't think he's going to get a coordinator. I think he's going to
but in college, like, he'll get some kind. Listen, Ken Dorsey got a fucking coordinator job right away, so he'll get a coordinator. I promise you, some team. It may not mean he'll do great, but I don't think he's that bad. I think he's a decent offensive coordinator.
He also needs the Shanahan name on his resume.
Yeah.
He's going to
get true for a couple of years, and then
but maybe. Yeah, it's possible, but like I said, I think he needs to go somewhere where he's out of the spotlight, back up in some, position coach, and
I think you should do stand up.
You tried, yeah, stand up, a 2-hour stand up of him just going.
The Dolphins reporters,
right? All right, that's enough beating up on Curtis's team. So
they deserve it, and they deserve it.
Let's move on to the Patriots. They lost 20-13. Talk to us, Juan.
That went pretty close to what I thought was going to happen, hence why I picked the Raiders to beat my team. That game, in a dummy standpoint, is two things that you can take away from this game. There's a tale of two halves, and one team has a star player, a top 3 defensive end that completely took over the game in the second half. And the other team doesn't have anything close to that. And they just got destroyed. The first half was actually looking pretty promising. May looked good. The offensive line, especially pass protection, was pretty decent in the first half. And then the defense was getting a decent amount of pressure. But surprisingly enough, in which my coaching staff to me gets an F- for that game, the second half, Carroll and their staff made some nice adjustments. They went ahead and stopped respecting our receivers and started just going after May exclusively, and they started to move Max Crosby around the offensive line, started doing his damage. Once that started happening and May started feeling that pressure, it was game, set, and match. And that's just on the offensive side of the ball. On defense, they started picking up the blitzes because we blitz like 60% of the time, something like that, and they started picking them up. There was no pressure, and then everybody was just wide open down the field. Our secondary got absolutely diced. So, and that's a quick synopsis. But there are good things to take from this game that can be building points. And I think a lot of the bad stuff that was happening was actually pretty fixable. But I'm not discouraged. The person who gets the lowest grade is actually Drake May. He didn't look good at all in the second half. He looked pretty damn soft, and that needs to change. But what makes me feel better about that is that if you look at the rest of the draft class from last week, they all didn't play well outside of Penix. Everybody else played pretty not well. And McCarthy doesn't count because he hasn't played a game yet. So he had a bad first half, and then the second half he started playing well. May was the opposite. And then Daniels hasn't looked good in 2 games. Caleb Williams is exactly the same. So and Bo Nix looked like shit. So it just makes me feel better because this takes time. And plus, my entire team is new. There are 28 new players in my roster out of 53. That's more than half. Everything is new. Coaching staff is new. This is going to take time to develop. So there's no reason for me to panic yet. I even have us going 1-3 in September, the first 4 weeks. I don't have us really winning games yet. This stuff takes a while. So I'm just patient. I'm taking that route. I'm just hoping I see some progress in the next few weeks. We'll see what happens.
All right. Anthony, what you think about the game?
So the area that I feel like most concerning, and obviously games dictate this, and maybe this something turns into a blessing, giving them the reps. What was with the play calling in this game? When you look at the stat lines here, I think they had maybe 18 or so rushes throughout the entire game, and Drake May passed the ball 46 times. That's not a situation. Too. Yeah, that's not an area for success for a rookie or second year.
When you look at what happened, we couldn't run block the whole game. So I think they just abandoned it. There was no push. There was nothing. Anytime we hand off the ball, the defensive line overpowered our offensive line, which is very surprising. So I think to me, based on everybody was bad, that's more on Josh than it is on the offensive linemen themselves.
Agreed. Yeah.
McDaniels has to find a way to fix up that run scheme and make it more creative, or do a couple extra things to help them out, because they can't get dominant like that. Like it can't.
No, you can't abandon the run that.
You're absolutely right.
Not with the young quarterback. You're just going to put more pressure on him. And when you become one dimensional like that, and a guy that hasn't seen enough in the NFL, just start leading him to making poor decisions.
Yeah, 46 pass attempts is not. No,
that's not a recipe for success.
No.
I would call out that
he's not Josh Allen. No,
he's got a long ways to go before he's even touching that stratosphere. But yeah, I mean, this was kind of expected. In my opinion, the Raiders are a team that's got a little bit more of a veteran presence. Patriots are a team that's kind of on the way up. Both with first-time head coaches, but Pete Carroll has a little bit more of a resume than Vrabel does. I think the expectation was that they were going to lose this game. They kept things together, but I would like to see a little bit better game plan from the offense side with a young quarterback than letting him air it out all game. But agree with your thoughts on the no push on the offensive line. Definitely dictates that.
What'd you think, Curtis?
I was surprised. I thought May had a lot of dirt balls. Like he was, he played pretty well in certain parts, but some of his throws were off. And I think he's going to be pretty good. At least I'm from my evaluation. But look, they didn't have Gonzalez. That's a huge piece to that defense. They have, when you have really good tight ends and your linebackers, Ellis and Spillane, they're not really great either. I like Spillane in the run game, but he had a bad game. Ellis, I'm not too big a fan of. It was a pretty close game for a while. It was like back and forth, but you could see in the second half, I thought that was a really good point of yours, Juan, is that it just wasn't the adjustments. But, I think the Raiders have a little bit better team. I think, them having a more mature quarterback who's been through a lot, that helps out a ton. The offensive line, I thought Campbell played pretty well. He got a sack, but it wasn't really his fault. The running back came out and hit the guy who was blocking from behind. Should have hit him from the side.
He was getting a lot of bash for that when he didn't.
I don't think he deserved that. He had the penalties, which kind of highlighted it. That was but he was pretty good for the first half, and actually probably 3 quarters. That last quarter was problems. I don't fully blame him. I just don't know if McDaniels and May work well together. Like I think he's trying to make him like into a Brady type guy, but I don't know if he's got that, and we'll see if he develops. But overall, it's really solid. I think your team is so young. It's you got to give it time. It's better than my Dolphins who've been in year 4. So what the hell,
Yeah,
we'll find out this weekend.
Absolutely. I listen. I had the Patriots winning this game by 3. I think I said last weekend. I thought it was going to be close, and it was close. It was the second half where the Raiders did a little bit more adjusting than the Patriots, and like you both said, really it turned out to be the veterans that kind of led the way for the Raiders. It showed, right? Like if you look at the stats, Geno Smith had a really good game, right? 24, 34, 362 and a touchdown.
Crazy.
Yeah, and May wasn't terrible, but the second half, he struggled a little bit there. The run game didn't get going. That's, if that's due to blocking, I get it. But man, you got to have a better outing than that, to win in the NFL. 27 rushing yards from Henderson is not going to do it. 15 from Stevenson, who you just paid. It's not going to do it, right? Stevenson got a contract.
Like that's whatever, but that Ramondre, you cannot.
Yeah, exactly. And especially when you just paid him. He just got paid not too long ago. So and then last year he struggled with the fumbles too. So it's like got paid and he's not really showing his worth, which is you don't want to see that. And that's
crazy because he's so talented, man.
I was like, damn, yeah, well worth it. I'm with you, Curtis. I thought that was a great, contract at the time. Great player that they drafted, but he's just, man, some players do that. They get a contract and they just they go their opposite direction. Yeah. And it's I don't know what happened with him, but he needs to get it right or he'll wind up not being on the team. Because I don't think your coach will keep him around if he continues.
Vrabel's not going to play.
Yeah, Booty did pretty good at 103. Yeah, good for him. Brock Bowers, didn't he get hurt? I believe
he got hurt. Yes, in the fourth quarter. And
he's a hell of a player. He's a hell of a player, man. at 103.
Oh,
I mean,
he's monster.
Now I'm not sure if he'll be back this weekend if he's playing or not, but
I heard no, but it's a little early. They play Monday, so
he's
maybe,
like a week to week probably right now. Okay. Yeah, but like over your possession time was even, bro. 30 minutes to pretty much 30 minutes. So it was a good game overall. Just like once again though, the veteran team, the veteran coach, the older coach that is at least it's been in the league a little bit longer with the quarterback. It's been they kind of just did enough to wind up getting that victory.
By the end of the season, that us and them, we're gonna be the same. Like we'll be
exactly. I think it's a problem
like that.
Exactly.
Like, we're even.
If you're a Patriots fan, like that's promising. And that's really all you want. And we talked about this last week. If you're a rebuild team like the Jets, like the Patriots, like even if you lost first week or whatever this season, you just want to see some kind of promise. You want to see some growth, right? Where you're like, okay, like the rebuild's on now. Like they're doing it the right way. Things are, we didn't win it, but so that's kind of how I felt. Like if you're a Patriots fan, yeah, it sucks, you lost, but you saw some good things that you could fix up, you could fix, correct, and hopefully get better. But it is what it is, man. Next game, Anthony.
Yeah,
you guys did better than I thought. You did better than I thought.
I tell you what, man. The only thing I feel like this game was missing was the W, and that's obviously stuff that's got to be corrected. They've got. Oof, come on.
Yeah,
Dane, come on.
Setting you up for setting you up there, buddy. Go ahead.
Dane's awesome. He's always in the chat. But come on. Hope that's not the case. But anyway, promising first week from Aaron Glenn and this coaching staff. Going into the season, obviously, don't know what to expect out of this team. Don't know what to expect out of this coaching staff. Don't know what to expect out of Justin Fields. I think we all formulated opinions on Justin Fields based on his time in Chicago, based on his time in Pittsburgh. But I feel going into this year, and I mentioned this last week, this is the first time I feel like Justin Fields has had a strong offensive line in front of him. Steelers didn't have a great offensive line last year. Bears did a good job building talent around him from the receiving perspective, but never really put a good offensive line in front of him. And what the Jets are asking Fields to do is to play quarterback and make that his primary focus and use his legs in timely situations when it's needed to gain those extra yards, put us in better situations. And I think he did exactly that. In this game, I did notice there was plenty of opportunities where Justin Fields could have gotten the first down with his legs right away, but he kept his eyes downfield. And I know that watching some Bears games in the past, and I had to go back this week and look at some of his games from 2022 and one of his best seasons. And you notice that in 2022, there was a lot of situations, and he did put his eyes downfield, but there were a lot of situations where when he got outside the pocket, his eyes did not stay downfield because probably mentally, he's more running for his life at that point to get some extra yards instead of having trust in his offensive line that, hey, they're going to buy me an extra few seconds. Let me just keep my eyes downfield. And I feel like that was a major difference in him today versus what we've seen from him in the past. Hopefully that continues. It's 1 week. But the Jets did this against a very strong defensive line, the Pittsburgh Steelers. We were talking about this last week, and my biggest hope was that Cam Hayward wasn't going to play because of the contract dispute. Well, he suited up in this game, and that was a major red flag for me because of the loss of ABT. But this offensive line, they shuffled things around. They moved Tippmann, who was supposed to be our starting center, over to right guard, where I believe he's better anyway. I think he's a better guard based on his size. I'm not a big fan of Myers at center, but this offensive line as a whole has some talent. 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick at guard. John Simpson is probably one of the best signings that Joe Douglas had over his tenure here. He's been strong at the left guard spot. And this offensive line was pushing, and they were pushing, and they were pushing the entire game. TJ Watt was basically a non-factor. He had a couple of big plays early in the game. He stopped us on our first possession. They got a little cute with some running plays where they kind of ignored TJ Watt and said, we'll run away from him and push everything sideways and just basically earn an extra blocker by just ignoring him. And a couple times it did work. But on that first drive, he was able to stop us to a field goal by tackling us behind the line of scrimmage on back-to-back plays. But so they did get a little cute there. But this offense as a whole, I mean, Tanner Engstrand in his first game as an OC, he passed the test in this game. There were a couple of situations, specifically in short yardage spots where didn't really like the play call. There was that this 2-point conversion, the second one at least, He did a low percentage throw in the back corner of the end zone to Garrett Wilson instead of trusting his offensive line and gaining a couple yards. There was a 3rd and short earlier in the game where he stayed in shotgun and did like a delayed handoff type of thing. Just trust your offensive line. You got Justin Fields over there. QB sneak it. You got Braylon Allen. Do an HB dive. There's plenty of options out there. So that's something he's definitely got to work on from a play calling standpoint. But that's just me nitpicking. And for being a Jets fan, that's awesome to be able to call out a couple of plays instead of calling out the entire game, because this offense has been historically bad for years and years and years. Doesn't matter who's playing quarterback, has been the history there. I mean, the last, I would say, efficient quarterback play we've had probably going back to Darnold's rookie year. And that's, it's been a while since then. Defensive side of the ball, a defensive line had a good game.
Ken O'Brien. So you're talking about your last Ken O'Brien, your last best quarterback to play?
Nah, you're way back on that. No, we've had some good quarterbacks.
I'm sorry. All right.
Don't play Fitzpatrick.
Year of Fitzmagic. We had the Sanchez for a couple years.
For 5 games, and then he's
no, he was good for like 15 of them, and then the end happened.
15 out of 3 years altogether. Sure.
Then we played Buffalo.
Yeah, listen, I love Fitzpatrick. Don't get me wrong, but Fitzpatrick, he's good for a couple. Then he's bad for a couple.
I'm just talking about the 1 year.
Just good for 1 year. Get that big contract.
And I love him. He's Jameis Winston is the new Fitzpatrick when he starts. But go ahead.
On the defense side of the ball, obviously, the defensive line had a strong performance in this game. Will McDonald had a couple sacks. They held the run. They kept the Pittsburgh Steelers one-dimensional. I would say a couple areas, going into the fourth quarter, held them 17 points. There was that one drive that kind of started the mess where they had a late hit out of bounds that extended a drive instead of 2nd and long, turned into a 1st down. And that's what led to like the start of the mayhem. But outside of that, you got to get better in coverage. The secondary outside of Sauce Gardner needs some work. I don't trust Cisco. I don't trust Tony Adams. I don't trust Brandon Stevens. I thought that was a horrible signing at the time. It was one with question marks there. The guy gets beat. I mean, he was a liability in Baltimore, and they gave him a big contract. That was definitely alarming to me. And then obviously the biggest turning point in this game was the kickoff for a fumble. You took a possession out of Justin Fields' hands. And I know it's not saying a lot before this game, but in this game, that's a lot. He was moving the ball efficiently down the field. There's no reason to believe that he wasn't going to be able to kind of get the ball, at least in field goal range. And then you just hand the ball to Rodgers at the 25-yard line, where 2 plays later, it's a touchdown to Calvin Austin. Just not acceptable. There's a reason why Xavier Gibson got cut. That's been a problem for him. Talk about a player that earned his stripes. One kickoff or punt return touchdown against the Bills in Week 1 in 2022 gave that guy a 3-year career. And he latched on somewhere else. He was at the Giants now, but that was a big, I think, moment for Glenn to put the message out there that this kind of stuff is unacceptable. You cannot put the ball on the ground. He did it that one time, and there was a play early in the game where he slipped, put the ball on the ground, and was never whistled down. Luckily, the Jets were able to jump on top of it, and it was what it should have been ruled a fumble. So it's just not acceptable stuff. But I appreciate Glenn kind of taking accountability and actually using that word and putting it to the players. It sends a message across the locker room that we're trying to build something successful here, and dumb plays like that just aren't acceptable.
How did the fans react to Rodgers being back? Just curious.
There was boos. I mean, it's Jet fans. They're gonna boo.
Okay. Rodgers took a nice shot at you guys at the end there.
He talked a lot of shit.
Whatever. You know what? He can say what he wants.
Anthony, whatever.
He's gonna play the
whatever.
On this whole
Fuck
thing.
that guy.
Listen, he was no victim. We did everything that he asked for. Maybe did too much of what he asked for in that situation, but
absolutely.
Listen, we wanted to move in a different direction. Aaron Glenn wanted a mobile quarterback, wanted someone he could see himself coaching for the next couple of years instead of going year to year with Aaron Rodgers. In that interview that he had with Rodgers, and Rodgers even said this on the McAfee show, when he was asked, what do you want to do? Do you want to play quarterback? His answer was not, yes, I want to play quarterback this year. He's like, well, we got to see how this – and right there, when he gave that message to Glenn, That was the end of it. Glenn's all right. If you're not certain that you want to play quarterback here, in this season, I can't have this year to year, and moved on. Did it work out in week 1? No.
Fireman Ed. Where's he going? All right, go ahead.
Did it work out week 1? No. Rodgers got the last laugh on that one, but I think the Jets are in a better spot with a younger quarterback, and let's see how this goes.
Anthony, I said the same thing about that whole situation. I said it. I don't know if you guys remember when I talked about that, but I felt like, bro, like I don't think they got Rodgers to the interview just to go, hey, we brung you all the way here just to fucking tell you to go fuck yourself. Like, I think they were it was a test almost. Like, the new coach wanted to see if Rodgers had like that. Yeah, dude, I'm ready to play for the Jets. Let's do this again. And if he gave that answer, I think Rodgers maybe. I'm just saying it's possible. But once you are like, then then that's it. Like, that would be like if any of us went for a job interview, like, all right, and the guy's like, so what do you think about
5 years?
Where do you think your career can go here? Fine. I'm just right. We'll see.
My question too, Rodgers all pissed off about like how they made him fly out there on his dime, which, come on, let's take a break with that. But would it have really mattered? Because didn't he get mad at the Packers for trying to call him and tell him like, hey, we want
I know, same thing.
Oh, my phone doesn't work in Malibu. Okay, what the heck? Like, does it matter which way you go? He was going to complain about it anyway. But anyway, Jets are in a better spot. Lost.
Yeah. I think so too. I don't think that's listen, I'll talk about that in a minute. But Juan, what'd you think about the game?
I think especially for Jets fans, the biggest win y'all got is to know that you got a pretty good looking head coach. He ain't playing games. He's keeping everything on track, and that is the biggest thing you can ask for. In terms of on the football field, I don't know what to take of this game because y'all did kind of get shredded by a 41-year-old with no Achilles, and I don't know how to feel about that. But it's week 1. Crazy shit happens week 1, so I just don't think I'm taking that serious. And vice versa. You guys destroyed the Pittsburgh defense. I'm like, I don't know if that means the Pittsburgh defense is good or you guys are going to be that ridiculous, or I don't know what to take of this. But the performance itself was awesome. That was fun to watch. I enjoyed every minute what was going on. The only thing that I had a problem with, you were talking about how Justin Fields is now actually looking down the field and being the quarterback. On that last play, I believe it was a play when Garrett Wilson got drilled and dropped the ball. Yeah, he had the lane, dude. I'm like, he had those screaming. He had the lane. You go get it. But
so live,
I don't blame a quarterback for trusting his receiver. Like so.
So live, I had the same opinion, but when I looked at it a second time, I kind of questioned. There were two players right there, and maybe he would have gotten it. Maybe he would have to dive a little bit. Maybe he could have fought for the yard, but it was definitely hit or miss. It was low percentage either way he went. Either if he goes try and dive for the first down or hit Garrett Wilson. At least he hit Garrett Wilson in the hands. Jalen Ramsey had an outstanding play. Just put the knock on Garrett Wilson. I would like to see Garrett Wilson come down with the football, especially in a critical moment.
Did he ever?
Oh, geez, but I mean, either way, I think it was low percentage. But I was yelling at the TV. I'm like, you had the first down, but it still would have been a tough.
It was the right. It was the right
decision too. I agree.
You got to hold on. I get it was a great play by the defender, but once it's in your hands, bro, like the quarterback did his job. Yeah, he did his job. But you got to also credit the defense. I mean, they get paid too, and that was a hell of a play by Ramsey.
But Garrett Wilson's a lead receiver. He got paid big time this offseason.
Yeah, you got to hold that. There's no excuse.
But
you got no excuse. Yeah.
But it was the problem.
Defense really cool. Too.
Yeah. You done, Juan, with that? Or okay. Curtis, what you think, man?
I mean, I was very surprised at physicality of the Jets to be able to go up and down the field and really manhandle Hayward and Watt and the rest of the team. I was very impressed. And I was even very impressed with Fields. I thought he looked very good. I saw him in off-season, preseason, hitting the dirt and stuff. Glenn's he looks very good early. The team looks prepared. They look energized. They look physical. Membu looked very good. I was very impressed. I mean, you want to make fun of Rodgers, but he made about 4 or 5 passes on just, that thing.
Yeah, he did.
And they were impressive, and it really took them to the wire, and that's a much better team, you'd think. And so I think the Jets definitely, Jets and Patriots, I think both of them really showed a lot coming out. It's a first season. So if they can keep that going, they'll beat my Dolphins, and I think they'll be effective. I think, 6, 7, 8 wins. If Jets can get that, that's a successful season. Yeah. If it's these tough type thing. And the heavy run game really helps. You could see who'd you get? You got that Phillips. He played pretty good for you. And the fact that they weren't on the field all day, that run game kind of fuels the defense. Mm-hmm. So overall, I thought the Jets did really good. I liked the direction for him. Well, I hate it, Mm-hmm. So yeah, if Fields could keep playing like this, you've got to steal.
Yeah. So yeah, time of possession, by the way, you won by 10 minutes, like 34-24 pretty much, right? Yeah. Which is exactly what I thought how you guys should play, use Fields, use this running game. I said it last week, you guys should make it, base this team about the run game, run first, pass second, right? That run heavy, right? That's how I feel you're built. That's Justin Fields' MO. That's what he has been in the league. So you go with your quarterback strengths. You go with your team strengths. Your team strengths running the ball right now. Yep. I would not go away from that. I would keep going with that attack. I don't know if Fields is your answer just quite yet for the future at quarterback, but for now, he is your quarterback. I think he could do enough, and I think you could build around what his strengths are. So the one thing I'll say about your Jets, though, watching this game, you got your defense gave up 17 in the fourth, and I get Rodgers was going off at the end there, but when you see what I talked about Rodgers last week was his ability to move in the pocket isn't the same. You can get the Rodgers, and he's kind of just he just doesn't move as well, and you can get the sacks, and you did. You got to Rodgers, but late in the game, giving up 17, I kind of feel like your Jets defense went from almost borderline elite a couple years back to just not where it once was. I kind of feel like you're still trying to get it together, which is weird because you got the same players for the most part.
They lost Reed. Reed was a big piece.
No, but I'm saying you still got some key players. You still got some
Michael
key
Carter too has been playing poor for 2 seasons.
Exactly. Yeah. And I just feel like just like I said, at the end they're giving up 17, can't have that happen at home. I don't like that. I felt like you should have gotten the win, in my opinion. I thought you played well enough.
Yeah, I thought you played better.
You won. You did. You time of possession 10 minutes, sacking Rodgers 4 times, like having the lead at home, like. But once again, I get it. You're rebuild mode, new coach, new quarterback, new system. You're going to have these bumps in the road. You're going to have these kind of games, but there is obviously some promise to take away from the game, right? But I didn't like that on your defense, because normally it's the opposite way. Normally your defense, especially time of possession. Like last year, we would say, okay, the offense was constantly off the field on 3 and down, 3 and outs. Your defense was getting tired. We get that excuse, but this game, no really excuse, right? Mm-hmm. Your defense was kind of fresh, right? Like to give up that much, that many points in the fourth. Not acceptable. I get the end there. I get some turnovers. It's not good, but I don't like that part. If I'm a Jets fan, you got to clean it up. But go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, no, 100% got to clean that up. And I think you touched on it just a second there. Part of those 17 points, one of them was a 60-yard field goal. Another was, giving Rodgers a short field after the kickoff return. Still, I call it unacceptable. I agree with you there, but you got to give the defense a little bit of grace when just after giving up a long touchdown drive to Rodgers, they're back on the field, and then 2 plays later, it's another touchdown. I think that has something to do with it a little bit. Again,
got to hold.
It's unacceptable. Got to hold them for sure, but you also can't do anything about when a kicker hits a 60-yard field goal, just following a penalty. They did their job there. They held them at the field goal target line. They were behind it, and they did their job there. But you have a amazing kicker in Boswell who can nail that 60-yard field goal. It's the name of the game. But yeah, I agree with you. Defense needs to get better. I'd like to think it will because, and here's my thoughts on the defensive performance. Obviously, secondary was unacceptable. A lot of miscommunication on the back end with those two safeties and Brandon Stevens. History shows us in the NFL that when you have a good defensive line and a poor secondary, chances are the secondary will get better unless you just have a shit secondary, which is possible. I mean, I told you I don't have a lot of faith in a lot of these guys, but history shows that when you have a strong defensive line that allows that secondary to kind of work its way through communication, eventually that'll start to develop. The defense will get better as the season goes on. But if you have a great secondary and a really bad defensive line, teams are going to gouge you every way possible. It's kind of the name of the game a little bit there. Yeah. So I'm optimistic on that aspect. But yeah, the secondary issues have got to get cleaned up, and they got to get cleaned up fast.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
My Dolphins.
As long as you stop the run, you'll be fine for the most part. It goes right to what you're saying.
Exactly. Juan, by the way, what did you feel about Genty? Because I thought you guys did a really good job on him. I know I'm going backwards, but
I didn't think that we could stop the run, and we did, and I'm happy. I'm hoping that wasn't fake. I'm praying because, again, like I say, if you can stop the run, that's already decently foundational. And like Anthony was just saying, the secondary for the most part should get better. But if you can't stop the run, that's game. Like you're getting gashed every game. So
we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that right now. So let's get to the Sunday night football game.
You're the exception apparently. You can allow 300 yards rushing and fucking win still. So
that was game. I'm going to tell you real quick too. That first weekend of football was awesome. Just as being a fan of the NFL. I'm sorry, Curtis. I'm sorry. outside a couple games, like your game, but a lot of close games, a lot of games down to the wire. Just like the NFL, they did us justice by some of these games that they had scheduled. The Pittsburgh Jets game was down to the wire. I mean, even the Patriots Raiders game was down to the end. So there's a lot of good games. The Rams game came down to a fumble, I believe, at the end there. Like it was a lot of good games, man. Philly, the Chiefs, Chargers. Yes. Yeah. So, man, it was a great weekend, honestly, if you're just an NFL fan. And then obviously the Sunday night game. Unbelievable. Just watching that game. So, man, things started great, right? Things started great. I thought we had a lot of momentum, got that, nice return early on, had great field position, scored quickly. I'm like, okay, the offense didn't miss a beat from last year. But then the Ravens countered, which we knew, right? And then we kind of went on this, I don't know what we were doing on offense, throwing bubble screens.
We run game.
Yeah, it wasn't fun game, Kurt. Not at all. What are you talking about? Did you watch the game?
Flag football in the run game.
Yeah, well, not even. I'm talking about offense first. So here's the deal. They responded with the field goal. Fine, I'm good with that. And then we had a chance on offense to respond again, and we didn't. We kind of just fell into this. I don't know what we were doing. Offense that was
for a bit.
Stagnant, throwing two bubble screens. Matter of fact, I think
I was screaming. Thank you for reminding me that. I was going crazy. I'm like, you have fucking Josh Allen. Why are you throwing behind the line of scrimmage with Josh? I was going crazy.
Twice in the same drive series. Actually, the next series, we ran the ball 3 straight times. Really odd. Didn't get the first, punted. It was just like, what happened with the first drive? A lot of motions, a lot of jet sweeps, like a lot of different, getting the Baltimore Ravens kind of a little confused on defense where we're going to throw the ball. And then we went away from that, right? And we could not stop the Ravens after that. The Ravens were scoring on every fucking possession. And we were down 7-10, 7. It was like one of these games, but I kept telling myself, man, my key to the game was, one, the defense has to get early stops so we can go into halftime with some kind of cushion, because the Ravens will have a better second half, and you'll see what we saw in the playoffs where the Bills kind of squeeze it, get a victory, a close one. But being down at half, I'm like, this is not good, because even, we could score every single drive, and if we can't stop them on defense, this won't go anyway. We will lose this game. And my God, we had no answers to the run. Derrick Henry is an absolute dog. When we talk about top tier quarterbacks, elite, you talking about top elite running backs, it's him and Saquon. And really right now it might be Henry on totally top. That guy, man, let me tell you, man, he's a bruiser. He's fast as hell. When he gets, there's no catching that dude. Like he does, it's weird because he's so big. He doesn't look fast.
You let him get, I call him a freight train because he doesn't start off fast. If you let him get to the second level, you're done.
It's over. I don't care what speed you got. Yeah. It's like, it shows, right? So it's like, when he's gone, like you said, when he hits that second level,
I always say,
there's players coming. You're like, oh, maybe he'll catch him. Nope. Dude, that dude's just like trucking, bro. And another thing, you can't tackle Henry high. I don't know why players continue to try to tackle this dude high. You got to get low or to his legs, right? Waist level or legs, man. That's the only really true way to tackle that dude. And some players don't learn their lesson. But he was a beast. I thought the Ravens game plan super smart. They went kind of up tempo. They didn't let us adjust or get our defensive signals down. They caught us off guard plenty of times. Cole Bishop was lost out there. And that's what goes to show you when rookies are out there, communication is everything. And that's what we miss in the safeties with when we had Poyer and Hyde. That would never have happened with communication, right? Our defense was normally pretty stout when it comes to communication. Now it's kind of like, I thought Milano and Bernard didn't have good games. I thought they were out of position a lot. I thought Bosa started off rocky, but I thought he had a way better second half. Ed Oliver was probably the only really true beast out there, I would say, for the defense. I thought he did a very good job. But overall, our defense against the run. Now, remember, though, this is the Ravens. They have probably one of the, if not the best, running attacks in the NFL. They are. 100%. You got to deal with the RPO with Lamar, and Lamar by himself can get 100 yards in a game, right? And then you got to worry about Derrick Henry, and then even their backups running backs not bad, RB2, right? Like they have weapons, and their offensive line is no joke. That is a tough team to play against. So I want to tell people that's not an easy opponent. It's not like the Browns just squash us in the run game. So. I would kind of like
AFC. That's probably the best roster in the AFC.
Oh, dude, yeah, they are
the only one that's better off than them.
Absolutely, that is a Super Bowl contending team. No, there's no doubt about it. They are a 13-win team more than likely, unless something happens. That's a tough team. But on offense, I thought we were just kind of going through the motions through the first 3.5 quarters, almost kind of just floating around. 7 to 10 to 7 to 15. But I'll say this: if you guys really truly watch that game, for everyone that were dialed in, there were so many little things that led to that comeback that a lot of people miss because they're caught up in the moment. But if you go back in time for right before the half, that mere second that they gave us to kick that field goal, right? Like if we don't get that, we probably lose the game, right? That little bullshit, half a millisecond that they gave us, we make the field goal. Oh, by the way, a kicker that just got on the team like 5 days before, right? Clutch makes the field goal. Then towards the end, in that game, there's a punt that goes to the 1 that's called to the 20 because he barely touched the line. That leads to a touchdown, right? That's key, right? It goes down to the 1. Who knows what happens, right? Now you're caught up in your own end zone. People don't talk about that. Then the extra point that was missed by the kicker that should have been up 16. Now they're only up 15. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then you're talking about the Keon Coleman should have been a touchdown. He got swiped. It wasn't. Got called short. Now we run the clock out, right? That's key. And then I do wonder, what if we score a 2-point conversion and we tie the game? Now Baltimore has 2 minutes and they're not going to be playing to kill the clock. They're going to be playing more aggressive to go down the field and score. All that stuff matters. Like it was all just kind of, it was weird how and that normally doesn't go in Buffalo's favor. Normally we somehow fuck up. And I got to say McDermott, for who's terrible at clock management, did a very good job in this game. I thought at the end there, he got with the special teams coach. Hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this on third down. You're going to run out. And it was perfect. Leave him no time, kick the field goal, and everything kind of just bounced in our favor at the end there. But Ed Oliver causing the fumble was huge. I thought Baltimore the momentum swing when that happened. If you pan over to Baltimore sideline, it sucked everything out of them. Like everything. You could see it on their faces. They didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I think it was over then. I really do. I felt like
fumble for sure.
Yeah, I felt like Baltimore was on a high. Maybe they were playing a little bit, they thought they had the game in hand, and it only takes a turnover really for momentum, especially when the game's that close. And that turnover is everything. And then I will say this too on Baltimore's side. I was shocked that they didn't go for it on 4th and 3. If that's Andy Reid, and that's Bill Belichick on that last possession, yes. I listen. You have Derek fucking Henry. You got Lamar Jackson, and Lamar, by the way, taking himself out of the game. Shame on him. I don't give a fuck about your. I don't give a shit about your hamstring
at the 20-yard line or at your own 35.
I don't give a fuck.
Did you have?
I don't. Exactly.
Like going to score no matter what at that point.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So. You had all 3 timeouts. So if you're trusting your defense anyways, a punt, trusting your defense to stop them to get for a field goal, and then you're trusting your offense, then go back and win the game. So I was shocked that he didn't trust his offense at that point to get 3 yards, because I'm telling you right now, Andy Reid 1,000% would have went for that on 4th and 3 to win that game and that's all they needed was a first down. Game over. 3 yards. You telling me running back Henry, who's been gashing us the whole game, wouldn't have picked up 3? Are you telling me Lamar and RPO? I'm shocked, but thank you. They did us a favor. They didn't trust. He didn't trust his offense at that point, and that's what I mean about momentum swing. If you look at Harbaugh, Harbaugh was kind of like, I think he was a little bit stonewalled there. He was a little bit lost in the moment. So I think he made a huge mistake, and it cost them the game. And I think, like I said, I think the Ravens got a little bit ahead of themselves, and they thought they had the game in hand. And you can't do that in the NFL, man. You got to wait till clock goes to 0. Anything can happen. I know. 13 seconds. Bills Chiefs. I got texts going, "Oh, congratulations!" I didn't even respond because I know how it works. Anything can happen. The NFL's crazy. But anyways,
I think I was Anthony, one of those texts.
You might have been. Anthony, what's your thoughts on the game, man?
No, I think you hit it on the nose mostly. Obviously, the thing that kind of stuck out to me for this game was those last few possessions by the Ravens. And you touched on it. I mean, they played a different game plan. It seemed like in those last couple of possessions, didn't stick to what was working. I don't know if there was something causing for the change of heart there, but they literally coached scared at that point in time, which is kind of weird to say out of a Harbaugh coach team. But not taking advantage of 4th and short and the opportunity to just go out there with a win. As I mentioned before, does it matter if you give Josh Allen the ball at 35-yard line versus the 20-yard line? Did you have any doubt in your mind that this defense was going to give up the field goal range in that spot? At least at that point, they score quickly. At least you get an opportunity with your offense to go down there and steal a win with a touchdown drive yourself. It was, the alarming part for the Bills, obviously, you can't give up a lot, 180 yards rushing to a team. I know the Ravens are an elite team, that they're going to do that to a lot of people this year. But that's not a winning formula. You got to figure that stuff out. This defense, when Ed Oliver was not on the field, was being gouged. I think there was like some stats out there that when he's not on the field, you guys look like a top 15 rushing defense. When he's not on the field, you look like a team that's worse than the 32nd team in the league. So it's definitely alarming. Obviously, getting your best defensive player off the field, but that's something that's got to get corrected moving forward. But man, Josh Allen was outstanding in this game. Almost 400 yards passing. Critical in the fourth quarter. The Bills are a team that's fighting with destiny at this point. A lot of those talking heads out there have the Bills being Super Bowl favorites and the team of destiny in this year. And the way you kind of prove those people correct is winning games where the percentage of winning is down to minus 1%. And that's exactly what the Bills did here. What was the deficit? Was it 18 points or 17 points? What was that? The
15 with 5 minutes left.
So 15 with 5 minutes left.
Pretty 5 minutes when we had the ball. 3 minutes before score.
Whatever it was. Either way, it's low percentage opportunity to win the game. And your team makes the big plays that need to happen to win those games. A game that you're not supposed to win against a team that you're probably fighting for playoff seeding late in the season. Week 1 wins don't define your season, but a win like this could be critical down the stretch when you're talking about playoff seeding.
It is for them.
Yeah. I forgot. I even forgot on offense. Yeah, I forgot on offense the Keon Coleman tip on 4th down, like little things like that went our way that wasn't supposed to. I mean, the pass was going Shakir, got tipped by a tight end. That was crazy. And then the Jackson Hall's our tight end that hasn't. I don't even think he even called a pass in college. Comes down with a crazy cat. Like, yeah, it was just crazy. And you're right, man. I'll say this: they were chanting MVP for Lamar most of the game, right? Sideline giving. And this was I want to also say this real quick. Baltimore came into that game with revenge. They wanted that win badly, right? They wanted to prove so many points that the real MVP was Lamar. They're chanting. You had what's his name on the side, doing this. The receiver over there, right? Talking his trash, and they wanted. Trust me, they had a mission to prove everybody that they all got it wrong, and the MVP, the real MVP, showed why he's MVP. I mean, he took over. I mean, he had himself a quarter, and he was hitting everything. I just wish the Bills would go more up tempo on offense. I really feel like that's Josh's sweet spot. When this offense goes up tempo, it's tough to stop Josh Allen because the defense of Baltimore, if you see at the end there, I thought they did a good job for most of the game. But at the end, when we went up tempo, when we were trying to score quickly, it prevented them from substituting. It kept them on their heels. They were gassed. They didn't know where Josh Allen, if he were running, if he was going to pass. Like we were just throwing so many different looks, and that everybody eats 2.0. You saw it, right? Finally, Palmer got open. Everybody, Hawes, then it's like, where's the ball going, right? Who's getting the ball now? Shakir, Coleman, Hawes of all people, right? So I want to see more of that. But yeah, I thought Josh Allen it showed why he deserved MVP last year and why the guy, Lamar, took himself out of the game. That's not MVP. Sorry. It's not. You got to go out there and stick through it. Juan, did you talk about it? I'm sorry.
No, but I don't got that much to say. Well, Scott, what he said, that might matter bored. I am a little bored, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I am so fucking sick. First of all, this was an exhibition game, so I don't care about this. Second of all, this is the same fucking story with this Baltimore team for the last 5 years. This is like the eighth time where this team is up double digits and fucking choke. This is what they do. Where everything that you were saying about how they wanted the revenge game and the MVP, all that bullshit, that's what losers think. That's what losers think. That's why I don't want to talk about Baltimore. I know they're going to win their 13 games, and then because of that stupid-ass mentality, they're going to choke again, probably to you guys, again, in the fucking playoffs, and continue the same song and dance over and over and over again. That, all I needed to see was this, and I'm like, all right, good. I don't have to pay attention to Baltimore this year. I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
No, you know what? That's a great point you made because you're right. If that's what's on your mind in a football game, week 1 about last year, dude, then you got that's not winning. That's not a winning formula. Mentality.
So I'm done.
Right. Like, who gives a shit about MVP? Who cares that Zay Flowers missed in the playoffs? Nobody. That's last year. Nobody gives two fucks about what happened last year. It's about now. You're in the now, right? Play your game. Mm-hmm. You got, and honestly, the Ravens have a stacked team. They have a stacked fucking roster. Like on paper, right? They have a way better roster than most teams, including mine. But you have to play 60 minutes, and you got to have heart. You got to have fight. And they don't have that. It proofs in the pudding. It's right there. They have shut down multiple times in the playoffs. Lamar has shut down multiple times. And I hate pointing out like one singular player because it is an ultimate team sport. But man, they just seem to crack at all the wrong time, including their coach. 4th and 3, you go for it. I don't give a fuck.
Questions him for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
3 years. Like, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
when it matters, bro.
Like that's something my coach would do.
Run in 2012 to save your fucking job. I don't know why nobody calling for his head, but what I have,
I'm shocked. Like listen, man. To me, If you're a great coach, if you believe in your team, you go for that there on 4th and 3. I don't give a fuck. And that's what makes Andy Reid so special. I mean, guys like that who trust in his players, who say, I'm going for the win here. I don't care. You know what? I'll take it, right? If we lose this game because I called that, it's on me, right? And to punt that ball away, if I'm a Ravens fan, I'm pissed because you have no faith. You have no faith in what you've been doing. The
best player.
All right, this whole game, right? One mistake, right? One mistake,
and what happened?
right. I'm shocked. Like honestly, I was like, okay, you're giving us the ball back. Oh, all right. What? I was like, okay.
Jackson both rushed for over 10 yards per carry. You don't trust them to get 3 more yards for the win? Like,
dude, my first thought when we stopped in there, I'm like, don't get too excited, defense. They're going for it. I really thought
so too.
They're going for it. There's no doubt in my mind at this point. Like 3 yards, I'm going, fuck, that's not good enough. Like if we stopped at 4th and 5, maybe, I get that. 4th and 3, I go, no, the defense is going to stay out there. Punt. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Right there, I knew it. Right there, I'm like, if we leave them no time, they're fucked. They're fucked. And they were fucked. So, Curtis, what's your thoughts on the game?
Well, my son was like rooting for the Bills, and it was like you guys were down a bunch of points, and I'm getting tired. I'm like, my Geritol's running out. I shut it off, and I came back the next morning. I'm like, holy cow! Watched it. That was unbelievable. Clearly, I've said for years, Allen's the best quarterback in the league. He proved it. It's a shame, like I said, compare it to Marino. You guys just really need to finish this off because you just don't get guys like this too often. And every year that passes, you got to take advantage of it. But this was a huge win. I still concerned about the defense. Yeah, I know the Ravens are really good. You got guys that'll come back. Obviously, you need you get this cornerback situation down. I'm still a little concerned. You're a little small. You've gotten better as far as getting those DTs in there, but you're still in that there's something going on there where you guys do get exposed on the defense, and that's really the only thing holding you back. Your offense is good enough. You keep put on 41 points. It should have been a much better game, easier win than that, even despite with the Ravens. But I was impressed. You can make fun of McDermott, but I thought that was a really good game by him.
Yeah.
But when Josh Allen's there, you always got a chance. I mean, this guy does so much. Brady did get a little off kilter at certain points. But Cook took some time off. It'll take him a little bit to get back in the groove. I'm still your tight ends. I'm surprised you don't see more of your tight ends. You've invested in them. And it's like they're not even on the plate. It's so weird.
It is weird. It is weird. But that's my when you go back to like the coaching, like you talk about the defense. That's my gripe with him. I don't think he's a terrible coach. Like if you're in a rebuild mode, McDermott, like if we were to fire him, he's going to get picked up right away. A team. And I think he's a great rebuild. Like if you're rebuilding, perfect coach. Like I just don't know if he's the guy that
be like, give me that.
Exactly. Yeah. But I don't know if he's the guy that's going to lead you past a certain point, right? That's exactly. To finish. He's a starter, right? And then you gotta get that next coach to kind of finish the job, in my opinion, with him. But he's a defensive minded head coach whose problem is the defense. That should never be, right? If you have an offensive minded head coach, you expect your offense to be pretty good, right? Especially in year 9. You should not have any issues. Like at year 9, you would think by now everything's set up. It's we got the guys in play. Like it's not been the case. I think he relied too much on Poyer and Hyde for all those years. He didn't have they didn't draft their replacements, and obviously, and now that those key guys are no longer there, you see the struggle, and to counter that, you need to have a defense that gets to the quarterback. Okay, well, we don't have that. That's a problem too, right? We've still been trying to get the Von Millers, now Bosa. We still can't get enough pressure to make up for the poor play back there. And then like Curtis said, I like Benford. I do. I think he's a top 10 corner around there. But then CB2 is I thought Dorian Strong did okay, but he's a rookie. He's going to go through his time. We don't know what Harrison's about. yet. He's injured, right? Of course. And Trey White's not the answer, guys. Like Trey White's not the Trey White of old.
He's washed.
He's washed. Yeah. I like him. He's a good mentor, good guy to have, good depth, but he's not going to come in and just be like the old Trey. You're crazy if you think
up there back.
He was all pro Trey. He was the man, but that's not, two season ending injuries later and age. That happens, folks. So yeah, our corner, our DBs, our safety room, not great. I think our linebackers will be fine. I like Milano and Bernard. They had an off game. But together they're pretty good duo. But once again, the verdict's out on the defensive line. Like, can Rousseau take a step forward? I think he's playing good, but he's not great. He's still young. We'll see what happens. Daquan Jones is a shell of himself. Let's be real. Another guy that once again we could have replaced in the offseason. We chose not to. We chose to keep the older guy that's a shell of himself next to Ed Oliver. Not helping Ed at all. Imagine a guy next to Ed, right? That's a true one tech, a people mover. Then you'll see Ed Oliver really flourish, but you're not, because we don't have that next to him, right? We got a guy that's subpar, and that's on Bean and McDermott, right? They wanted that. They wanted to play that card, that cheap card that it doesn't make sense. And you draft Walker, who's not really a true one tech, right? It doesn't make sense. So, that's once again, this is on McDermott. This is his scheme. These are the players he likes. And you see that the scheme is not what's working. And people want to talk about Babbage, our defense coordinator. Listen, he's only calling what McDermott's playbook, right? Like, he's calling them, but it's still his players. It's still his scheme. So nothing will change until McDermott goes away, guys. Like, this team relies on Josh. This team relies on the offense. If the offense doesn't play perfect, we're going to be in trouble. I mean, those are the facts. We got away with it last year because of turnovers. And to be honest with you, this game here, a turnover is really what kind of saved the defense at the end. That's what made this happen. But you can't rely on that week in, week out. It's just not sustainable. Like, you're not, right? You're going to lose games like this. We should have lost that game. So I don't know. It's frustrating as a Bills fan when you have a head coach at, he's good, but he's not great. And without Josh, is he really that good? I don't think so. I think it's a 5-6-1 team without Josh. I mean,
yeah,
you know what I mean? I mean, that's the truth of the matter.
Coach without him, most likely.
Exactly. So, yeah. And when people talk about the Bills joining the Bills, what do they bring up? They don't bring up, I want to play for Josh, this awesome defensive minded head coach. Right? They bring up Josh Allen because they know he's the engine. Without him, this team ain't going anywhere. So thank God we got him, and hopefully, these young guys can step up, man. That's all I can say about our defense.
Let's see what happens.
It's week one. Yeah, it's week one. It was a tough matchup, but Curtis is right. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, those are glaring holes we saw going into the season, and it showed week one that it's still a problem. But anyways, let's get to our and finally.
You gotta watch out, Tommy. This is the choo-choo week.
This is the choo-choo week. So we're gonna get to we gotta get to our boo this man and our style and profiling for each team. Y'all forgot about that. All right, so let's start with this. Woo! All right, Anthony, who's your styling and profiling player from last week?
All right, there's a number of directions to go here. The obvious guy would have been Justin Fields, but I feel like I already gave him his flowers. I'm gonna go with someone else here. Offensive line play, obviously being a critical one for the Jets in this game, and someone who had a big test this week was Armand Membu going head to head with TJ Watt, and he aced the test in flying colors. In 26 pass blocking reps, didn't allow a sack, didn't allow a hit, didn't allow a hurry. He was outstanding in this game. And when you're looking at offensive linemen, you look at them, how much time did he get help? And he did get some help in this game, obviously. You're not going to leave on an island on every single play. But I counted about a dozen or so plays where he was one-on-one with TJ Watt, and he stoned him. And that is an outstanding start for an offensive lineman, someone you're hoping to be your right tackle for the next decade. Outstanding for Armand Membu. I give him the style and profiling for the Jets this week.
All right.
Boo this man!
All right, who's your boo this man? Who you booing?
Oh my God. This also has many options. Shit. I'm gonna go with Brandon Stevens. Just for the sure. I mean, there's plenty of ways you can go here. Tony Adams was horrible in tackling. Early in the game, it was 3rd and long. He just let DK Metcalf walk around him. Michael Carter, a similar situation, just let DK Metcalf get like plus yardage on a 2nd and long, without even making an effort to go and get him. I know DK is a big boy, but still got to make an effort. But Brandon Stevens allowing 2 touchdowns in this game, one at the end of the 2nd quarter to bring the Steelers closer before the end of the half, and then obviously the one after the fumble. Unacceptable. You got paid big money this offseason, whether you deserved it or not. You have to reach up to expectations of your contract, and he did not in week 1.
All right, Juan. Styling and profiling. Who's your guy?
Harold Landry. He's back home with Vrabel. Got 2.5 quick sacks. Disrupted the offensive line. An honorable mention goes to Milton Williams, our big signing. He actually disrupted the offensive line pretty well himself. Those 2 big signings looking like that, assuming that'll be consistent, will make this defense go well. But Harold Landry will get it for 2.5 sacks.
All right.
Looking like he turned back the clock a little bit because he wasn't good last year in Tennessee.
All right, and who's your boo? Who you booing?
Yeah, so many. You know what? I'm going Drake. I'm putting Drake up here. First time, I'm putting Drake up here as the Buddhist man. The Cheney wheels are out, Papa. It's time. We gave you all the excuses in the world last year. You had that shit team. It's over. You're going to be judged as a real NFL quarterback now. You did not play well at all in that second half. You looked way too soft. You looked way too jittery. It's over. It's time to get judged like a grown-ass man that you're about to be. Let's go. Give me better quarterback play.
All right. I see some talk in the chat about Wilkins. He's not signed, by the way.
He got cut like twice in like the last week. Like he was supposed to be with Jacksonville.
Oh, he had meeting
with Dallas. Yeah. He's supposed to be with Chicago. I read like a day ago.
So there's something. Yeah, I don't know what's, and it could be physical. Could be something that they don't want to wait around for. But I'll say this because Scott's saying he don't want him. I'll be honest with you, Scott. Listen, on a player like that, that's gifted like that, I get he has issues and all that crap. I personally don't give a fuck about that. I would definitely kick the can on him for a 1-year deal if he's healthy, 1,000%. Because at this point, let's say he doesn't work out. Who gives it? Who cares? Who cares? You know how many players that we've signed that doesn't work out that we've lost money on? You're telling me you want to give an opportunity 1 year for a guy that, if it hits, it's a fucking home run. Like it's and if it doesn't, who cares? And you really think he's going to be a locker room? Bro, our locker room's fine. Like we have enough leaders in there. One guy's not going to come and be like, and all of a sudden our locker room's just out of shambles, right? Like this guy just ruins everything we have. Oh my God, like, stop. Dude. I would 1,000. I don't care if he touches balls or not, whatever he does in his own personal time. Look, if that dude can bring what he did early on his career, I'll take him, bro. 100%. And I'll tell you what,
included.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll say this too: you won't hate it at all if he's making plays. You'll love that signing. Okay, so I don't want to hear it.
McDermott will tell him, see that quarterback on the other side? Go grab his balls.
Yeah, exactly. Don't touch any of our guys. So I can leave that shit out of the locker room. But no, dude, I 1,000% would honestly on any player on a one. Like think about Antonio Brown, total nut job, total head case. But he fucking went to Tampa and won a fucking Super Bowl. Like, okay, cool. And he was a problem the next year. Goodbye. Okay, whatever. He quit. Goodbye. They fired. Whatever. But who cares? They got what they wanted. They got a Super Bowl. He helped. Whatever. Say what you want, but he was part of that. He made that happen with Tom Brady, and Tom Brady knew it. And why do you think Tom Brady's an idiot? Tom Brady goes, yeah, I know he's a fucking problem, but you know what? Fuck it. Let's bring. I think he can help.
Too. He was up in New England with Brady as well, so Brady was familiar.
Exactly. Even when New England, exactly. But the thing is, Belichick's like he had a really short leash.
He talked shit about Kraft. That's why he got cut so quick.
Yeah, you can't do that. But my point being, if there's a special talent out there, even if they got issues, 1 year deal, is not going to. Guys, there's so many mistakes that GMs make in the course of an offseason signings. So many. You're telling me a guy like that with major upside isn't worth just kicking a can? Of course it's worth it. So, yes, if he's available, he's healthy, why would you not? I mean, come on. That's just really dumb way of thinking about it. But anyways, Curtis, who's your styling and profiling?
I really only have two choices on styling.
Do you have one?
I have
You have two?
plenty on the other ones. I got two. Patrick Paul, left tackle, played exceptionally. He had a very, very good game. And for the very few bright spots on this Dolphins team, he's one. He'll be with the Dolphins most likely for at least 10 years. Really like where he's going. But Devon Achane, he got the only touchdown, broke 2 or 3 tackles. They were feeding him all day. He's injury prone to a certain extent. He's small, but I don't know if they use him right. But I would be those two guys. I think they shared it. Nobody else really. Everybody else kind of sucked.
Who are you booing?
A touchdown though.
Oh, it's easy. McDaniel, man.
Going with the coach over 2. Okay, I like it.
I would go Greer, but I do it so often it's getting boring, man. But McDaniel's just not the guy.
You want me to do this one for you, Curtis? Here we go. There you go.
All day. Yeah, I mean, McDaniel, you get all, look, you can lose a game. It's okay to lose a game, even, the season opener. But the way you lose it, by the meltdown, he looked like a deer in headlights, just like frozen, like halfway through the game, like most of the team. He doesn't have it. He got a big push from the media. He's just like you, and he's funny, and he's smart. It's all BS, just like everything in South Florida. Greer, Greer's cooking. He's cooking himself. He's cooking the team. So McDaniel's kind of more of that. I can't wait for them to be gone, but more than likely probably this week to keep my pain going. So that's
is he still wearing those capri pants out there?
Oh, his capri pants. He's very stylish. That guy's a putz. I mean, he's not a bad guy, but gosh,
it's so annoying. And the Don Shula sunglasses he's wearing, capri pants. Get out!
He knew it. I think he knew this thing was a whole wash. He was just enjoying his time in his sun.
And that money that came with it too.
He even said they asked him why he took it. He says, "I talked to Mike Shannon. Should I take a job?" He goes, "Listen, you don't never know when you get an opportunity like this to set your family up for life." He's like, "So I took it." That's what he said.
I love you, buddy. I'm not calling you dumb. I'm saying it's dumb not to take a chance on a guy like that has his ability is all I'm saying. I'm not calling you dumb. You know that, Scott. Come on.
Bills players will like it anyway. It'll be an extra bonus.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Worked for the Dolphins for a few years.
Yeah, that's right. Why not?
Apparently, yeah.
So this is an easy week here for us. This is a division game. So let's start with let's start. Yeah, that's it. So let's start with the Patriots.
Are we touching on the Dolphins and Bills game 2 since they played Thursday?
That's a great. Yeah.
Why? Because we know how it's going to go. What the hell is
this? We know how it's going to go.
The Patriots at home with a 1.5 point advantage.
Well, I'll tell you what, we won't. Yeah, we'll just give our predictions.
We'll go first. I'm going to lose. It's going to be ugly, and I don't even know if I'll have a head coach by the 3rd week. So, other than that, Mr. Lincoln, how was the play?
We'll do that. We'll do that at the end. We'll just give score predictions. We won't.
I think we just did it, dude.
We'll dive.
Yeah. So okay, can we all just say? So do we agree the Bills will win that game? Let's go.
Yeah.
Is everyone
No. I'm going to disagree. It's 75D chess. We set everybody up in the league with a bad week 1. We're going to blow the doors off the Patriots and cruise our way to the Super Bowl because Mick Genius is so smart. Chris Greer is so smart. 90,000 D chess is what we're at. We've just been lulling everybody into a sense of, I don't know, whatever. We're going to lose.
Yeah. Sean's saying that your coach is running a lab method to the game plan. I saw somebody wrote in a comment section of his interview, this guy couldn't manage a 7-Eleven. I thought it was the funniest shit ever.
Only in Dolphin land. The only coach I could say of equivalent was Crazy Eyes Gates because the Jets actually saw him with us and decided to take him and make him the king. Sorry,
This is
Anthony.
so funny. Oh my god. Anyways, okay, so we won't get to that game. We know what's going on. So let's get to this game, this matchup here, Patriots and Dolphins. We'll start with Juan. Patriots, Dolphins. What do you got in Miami? It's going to be half Patriots fans, half Dolphin fans.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
So this is normally a house of horrors. We usually go through the worst of the worst when we go into this place, especially at this time of year, because normally it's still like 90 over there. So they, you know how Dolphins do, they put their opponents at the hot spot of the stadium. They make them
Gotta win some games every year, Juan. We gotta do something to win a couple of games.
So we'll see. Damn, Scott, that's crazy. Hey, yo. But
Slurpee
they
boy.
do that. That's crazy. That made me lose a train of thought. Holy shit. Okay, so
blame it on Scott. It's not my fault.
100%. So this game is telling. This is a desperation game for sure, especially for them. They're definitely a desperation game for them. Us, maybe 25%, because we didn't. There's things that we need things to look better this week. So based on what we saw last week, we're actually playing someone that's not as good as the Raiders, apparently.
Whoa. What makes you say?
That shows you that right now. But the thing is that their front seven is still awesome, and that's going to be the key to the game. If they start teeing off on Drake from get, which I think they will, we're going to get a big test straight up if we fix any of the problems from last week that caused our offense to be completely stagnant in the second half. If we're able to slow down their pass rush, I think we're golden, to be 100% honest with you. I think we don't have Gonzalez again, but that's official, by the way. So there is no Gonzalez one more week. So the secondary is still out there to die. I am hoping to Christ that we are not going to be doing these stupid-ass zero blitzes against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I think we should be sticking to a two-man high in this game. I hope so, but usually Vrabel doesn't like to play that way all the time. We'll see what he decides. But this, I will hope to Christ, we're not trying to blitz 7 people like we did last week against the Raiders on 3rd and fucking.
We might actually win if you do that.
Yeah,
Holy
I don't
cow.
know. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. Based on how they get diced up by rookies last week, our bum-ass safeties, I don't know if we're going to be able to handle that on Tyreek and Waddle. So just be a little more conservative defensively this week, and keep everything in front of us. I think we'll be fine. I think our defensive line should be strong enough to take over the game, especially in the interior. This should be a nice calm out game for Barmore. This should be a great game for Milton Williams up the middle.
I like Tonga too. Tonga too.
Yeah, Tonga's really good. Yeah, he didn't play enough. He was on a snap count last week for some reason. I don't know why. Whenever he was out there, he was doing damage. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll get unleashed more this week coming up.
Yeah, because White's not in. He's out, right?
Yes, he's out.
What do you think about John's comment here, by the way, real quick? That 2 is 7-0 against Pats, but he's also 0-2 against Vrabel. You think that comes into play here at all?
Vrabel knows something. So that's why I'm trusting him defensively to slow them down, and we'll see what happens. I am going to do something superstitious. My gut tells me we're going to win. I'm not picking us to win, though. I'm picking us to lose this game officially.
Wow.
But my gut tells me we're going to win, and I'm just going to sit back and see what happens.
What's your prediction? Score prediction.
But if we win this game 24, I'll be nice, 24-17. I feel like if we win, we're going to win like 24-10 because they just completely imploded. That's probably how we win this game.
Man, that would be so bad.
I'm going to be nice. Yeah, and that's what you're setting me up. If you guys lose this game, if you find a way to lose this game.
Hallelujah. Freedom.
Yeah, just get the coffins out, start the funeral. This season is done for y'all. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah,
if
I'm with you.
Find a way to lose this game.
Right. At home, especially. I'm with you. So, all right, so Juan, you got them winning. You got the Pats winning, is what you're saying? You had to predict.
My gut says that we're going to win. But
your gut.
I'm being superstitious, and I'm going to.
You're going to go the opposite way.
Yes.
Okay, got you.
That's what I'm doing.
All right. I'll go with Mr.
Curtis.
Yeah, what you got, man?
Look, if we had a halfway decent coach and we had a team that really could play, we should win.
Hey, whip
And
her
right
ass.
now, without Gonzalez, it's not going to be super hot. It's going to be 83 degrees, so it's not going to be super hot. There's a chance of showers too, which would really screw us up. But your desperation point here. But we don't have the right coach. We got a team that right out of the game last week, McDaniels said guys were going rogue. Chubb said guys were going rogue. Tua says, I want to see guys in the film study. Then we, the defensive coach, said, I don't think they're going rogue. I think they just love the team so much. They were doing everything to win, and they just bad in zone. And then you had a team meeting. So this team is imploding. And when you're in this state, it's if you get some momentum early, it can feed it for a win. But if they struggle, this team will turn on itself and devour itself like cannibals, and this team will implode. Tonga, Williams, Barmore, and Landry will outmatch this front. Daniels, our big free agent, $24 million over 3 years. Coming off an ACL, sprained his ankle 2 days before the game, then damaged his pec in the game, played 3 snaps. He's out on IR for who knows how long. Austin Jackson, he kind of came off an injury from last year. He was injured twice during the preseason, and then he injured his toe this game, so he's out. We don't have a tight end. We have Tanner who's a 230-pound tight end who can catch, can't block. Julian Hill, who sometimes is on the planet Earth and not. You tie it into an offensive line that's not so hot. But without Gonzalez, we got super talent at the receiving group. And the HA could break it. A couple of big plays can turn this game around. But I think this game's going to be about being smart, playing conservative, letting the other team make mistake. And Mike McDaniel doesn't do that. He wets himself. He wears a rubber diaper, I think, going into the game. We've got to run inside to create some kind of leverage. They're going to play outside leverage. They're going to play cover 2. We play cover 2, and last week May was 3rd best against cover 2. We can't really play cover 1 because we don't have a second safety, and we've got nobody at corner. But our front 7 is really good. It's a misnomer with last week because the Colts front and tight end group was phenomenal. The OC over there was brilliant, and then we forked over the ball and let them sit on the field all day. I think last week the Pats played a lot of pass. I think you'll see more 12 personnel. I think you want to try to run inside because Benito Jones, our starting nose tackle, is out. We got a good rookie, but he's a rookie. He hasn't played a lot of snaps. He's going to have to suck up a lot of snaps. And we got a 7th-round rookie D tackle is going to have to fill in for him. So I think if McDaniels has a brain in his head, he's going to run the football inside, outside, some play action rollouts, and then throw it to the tight ends. It's going to be about holding your water, turnovers, and first down. If my team is off schedule on first down, we're going to wet the bed. I think if we keep you guys off having successful first down, the pass rush will get to you. So if I have to, I said in my podcast, I think the Dolphins will win, but I think, look, man, I've kind of had moments to think about it. We're going to wet the bed. It's going to be about McDaniels knows how to coach, not my McDaniel, but their McDaniels. Weaver's not bad, but Vrabel knows what to do. He's not going to wet the bed. If it's a wet the bed contest, Mike McDaniel's going to wet the bed first. And so I think we lose. I think it's like a 17-20 type game. I hope.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
The fans that are there, I want to win because I don't even know what it's like anymore. But then if I lose, we're getting out of here. We're done with this. I could start the burn it down parade and people will be interested and I'll be excited. So I don't know. I guess we'll lose. I say 17-20. I think there'll be a bunch of field goals in it. I think there'll be like 2 or 3 field goals each side. So like maybe 23-20 or 2017. I'll go with that. What the hell? I don't know.
All right, so Curtis with an L. Curtis calling his team an L. All right, Anthony, what you got?
All right. Listen, I think all signs should point to the Patriots winning this game. You know, when you just look at the head coaching, it's a landslide of advantage heading towards the Patriots in this direction. But I guess the concern
OBJ 2.0.
I guess the biggest concern I have, obviously from week one, I think they'll get it corrected. That play calling has to be better. You have to have a more favorable play calling for a young quarterback. There's got to be more runs. You got Ramondre Stevenson. You got what's his name? Henderson, Travion Henderson over there too. You know, good rookie running back. You know, a couple options back there. You do have receivers there, but you can't have this guy slinging it 45 times, 46 times a game. That number's got to go way down. The rush has got to go way up. You got to put him in favorable passing situations, third and shorts, second and shorts. Allow him to kind of build off of favorable down situations, and then you can see what you got here. But you keep putting him in these poor situations. A team like the Dolphins, you give them more opportunities. Eventually, they're gonna pop. They're gonna get the big play.
Yeah, eventually.
It'll happen eventually.
Sometime this decade, we'll definitely do it.
Woo! But yeah, everything about this game really has me leaning Patriots by a score of 24-13 is what I really think is going to happen. I think the Dolphins just seem like a team that's just destined for a downfall this year, and I think this game will be kind of a stamp on that a little bit as we kind of move closer and closer to when I think everything will be cleaned up by Halloween.
Yeah.
What do you guys prediction? What's the score prediction?
24-13
for the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Okay. Scott coming in saying follow Danger Zone, man. Been following us as well. So go over to his channel, subscribe to his channel, man. He's showing us love. I'll show him love back as well, man. So yeah, I'm kind of with Juan on this one. This is a tough game. This can go either way. It really can. But I do think the Dolphins win. They're at home. You have to kind of,
it's still rational here, Tommy.
No, listen, it's still. I know, and I said it last week, but I did pick the Colts last week. Though I still think you were a better team, to be honest with you. But listen, you're at home. I lived in South Florida. I don't care if it's 83, whatever you're saying. It's humid as fuck out there. It's a different environment when you play in Miami. The away team sits on the worst side. The fucking sun beating down on you. That takes tolls on play. It really does. And obviously New England, cold state, cold team, right? So that's going to take a little advantage for Miami, I believe. And I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was last week for the offense of Miami. I don't. I think Miami gets some things going here. Though I like the Patriots defense, and I do like Vrabel as a head coach. I think he's going to bring it. But I do think the Dolphins squeak this one out. I do. I think it's something like 20, 26, 21, something like that. I think it's going to be competitive for a little bit. And I think the Dolphins pull away there at the end, at home, but it's going to be close. Would it shock me if the Patriots win? No. I'm with Juan on that one as well. And if you're a Dolphin fan, once again, you kind of want the Patriots to win, especially at home, because then your owner, who's going to probably be there, right, is going to really hear it from the fans, right? That's there, right? And that's what you want, honestly. If you're a Dolphins fan, I know it sucks because you never want your team to lose, but that's the only way things are going to maybe change if you start off maybe, and that's a big maybe. Because your owner doesn't seem like he wants to.
That's the exciting
go
thing about being a Dolphins fan. You're always on the edge. You never know.
If he doesn't hear it, he's definitely going to see it. That plane flying over the stadium, he's going to see it.
So it's and the whole Hill and Tua thing is going to be interesting. That's an interesting kind of game. It kind of is a little interesting to see if, I'm waiting for Hill to pull a AB and just take his shirt off and leave. That would be a Hill. Would it shock you? It really wouldn't. The way he's been, he's kind of continuing where he left off last year. And in this whole, and him and Tua clearly don't have a good relationship. They clearly don't.
I'm really surprised they didn't trade him, though. Didn't he have comments at the end of the year?
They can't. The guy's got so many allegations on him. Huge contract allegation. And he quit on the team. That's a Dolphins. That's how Dolphins do it.
Well, that's unsurprising. He basically said, I'm out of here. I forget exact quote, but it was basically I'm getting the hell out of here. Like in the,
I think the only way it would work, honestly, is if the Dolphins would eat some of his contract and take,
yeah, of course they would have to
and take something that's just to get rid of him. Honestly, maybe not even, it wouldn't even be a fair trade, to be honest with you. But whoever's getting him is like AB in a way, right? You're getting a talent, but you're also getting, the bad
He's
side.
under investigation now for beating his ex-wife,
which is not good, right? And the NFL will come down on you on that one as well. So,
hey, Juan, I don't know if you heard. Juan, did you hear they traded Polk for a 6th-round pick?
I got that alert. I was like, okay, bye. 2024 draft.
See ya.
Shitty, dude. You got just May. That's it.
It happens.
Wow.
It happens. Okay, so let's get to the last game of the week, which is the Bills and the Jets. I'll start with you, Anthony.
Choo-choo.
It's not choo-choo yet. I'll tell you what, though. All right, so I think it's going to be a fun game. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout. I like what I saw of Aaron Glenn week 1. I like what I saw of Engstrom week 1. But the thing is that
that's what she said
on them now. What was that? The book is out now. So teams have been able to see what this offense is. There was a lot of unknowns in week 1, but what this offense would look like, how they're going to operate with Justin Fields at their quarterback. Now there's film out there, so you would expect, teams to be able to game plan a little bit better for this. But the one thing I think works in the Jets' favor in this game is when you watch the Bills game against the Ravens, and I understand Ravens and Jets are completely different animals. Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson isn't quite the same flavor as Justin Fields and Breece Hall, but they're both, talented runners with the football in their hands. And this offensive line is outstanding from what we saw against a really, really, would you argue, a top 5 defensive line in the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think they're getting a little bit of a, easier matchup when you're going against the Bills defensive line, especially one now that's going to be down Ed Oliver, who was basically you guys' best defensive lineman in week 1 against the Ravens. So that's a little bit of benefit there. So for the Jets, the formula is very simple. It's the same formula that we talked about in week 1, and it's going to be a formula that they're going to have to use week in and week out. They've got to dominate the time of possession. They've got to run the damn football. They got to keep Josh Allen off the field as much as possible. I know it doesn't matter. Josh Allen will make opportunities happen when he's got the ball in his hands, but you got to limit those opportunities as much as possible and operate. Like the time of possession has to be on a full tilt. It's got to almost be like 38 minutes to 22, 35, 25. You've really got to operate with that being your game plan. And if you do something like that, go into the fourth quarter and it's a 1-score game, then you have a shot. Still a lot of unknowns with what this offense can be. But that's the way you got to go. Defensively, got to be better, man. They've got to figure out something with that secondary. Cannot go into this game with Brandon Stevens lined up on the outside and just letting basically smaller receivers. And I think that's kind of was the big issue with Stevens when they put players in motion and lined him up with Calvin Austin, a smaller receiver with some quickness. He didn't operate well, but put a bigger receiver on him. He'll play good coverage. He'll be around the play. When you got a smaller guy, like I look at Shakir in this game and say, keep that guy away from Brandon Stevens as much as possible. Move things around. You cannot have him line up Shakir. Shakir is a player, if he gets lined up with Stevens, could have a field day. So Jets just cannot have that happen. And these safeties got to go up there and tackle. Michael Carter's got to go up there and tackle at the nickel spot. Cannot just let good players walk around you for a first down. That's just unacceptable. And I expect all those things should be corrected with this coaching staff. I have a lot of faith in what Aaron Glenn put on the field week 1. I have a lot of confidence in what we saw in week 1. With all that being said, Bills are a strong team. We all understand that. Super Bowl favorites throughout the league. The Jets are a team in rebuild. They're moving in the right direction. This would be a huge statement win for them, but I just don't see it happening. But I have them keeping it close. Bills 33-27.
Okay. I think, listen, man, you guys are going to, it's a copycat league. You're going to see what obviously saw what the Ravens did against us. You guys are sort of like that in a way of your run heavy team. You got good running back in Breece Hall. The other running back is good as well. And obviously your quarterback is mobile. You're going to definitely try to test this early in that department and see where our defense lies. But at the end of the day, I just think we have a really good offense going. I think we're going to score points on you guys. I don't see your defense holding us to under 20. I can't. I think we're going to be in the high 30s on your defense. And I don't see you guys running the ball as effectively as Baltimore did. I just don't see it. I think we'll have a much better game. I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned from last week, especially from our younger guys. I thought Bosa came on strong, like I said, at the second half of that game. I started containing Lamar a little bit more on the edge. So, yeah, and with Fields, I think he's a little bit more one-dimensional. He's not a bad passer, but as long as you can kind of keep him in the pocket there, create a little bit of pressure, force him to throw, I think we'll be fine with that. I'm not afraid of his arm. I don't think he is a special talent. I don't think he's terrible either. But I think that's the key, right? We slow down the running attack. Don't let him get off out of the pocket, get to running. Offensively, like I said, I think what we need to do better, and Curtis said it earlier, is get our tight ends a little bit more involved. You drafted Kincaid for a reason. You traded up for him. He's a good player. We just don't really, I don't know if we don't know how to use him correctly, or we're just not, I don't know, or if it's him, it could just be him just not creating space, or him and Josh not having an early connection. Because Josh tends to go to Kincaid, Dalton a little, not Dalton. Sorry, our other tight end Knox a little bit more, and I think that's more of a trusting thing. They've been on Knox has been here a little bit longer. The chemistry is a little bit there, especially on the scramble drills. If you notice, Allen tends to go to certain guys on those scramble drills, and Keon is starting to build that relationship with Allen. You saw that last week, and I think Keon is also a key factor in this game. Last week. That game for him had to boost him, up a little bit as far as, him believing in himself a little bit more, that he is, a good receiver in the NFL, that he can make plays when needed. So, and Josh is going to appreciate that and throw him the ball a little bit more. So I think our offense is going to throw you guys off a little bit. And Josh he's tough, man. He's tough to contain. And I don't think you guys have enough to stop this offense. I mean, Baltimore is a good defense, and they let us get 41. So I don't see why we wouldn't be in the high 30s. So I'm going to go 37-23. I think the Bills have this game in hand, unless something really bad goes on. I just don't see us losing this game. Curtis, what you got?
Yeah, I think the Jets going to play tough. I think it's not going to go as well as against Pittsburgh, but it's going to have that similar vein. Membo, they've got a pretty darn good offensive line. They've got a decent tight end. They've got Breece Hall can pop it off. But, the Bills are just going to outscore you. I don't think, they're going to have problems against Allen. He's just going to buy time. I think the Bills win. I just think I think the Jets will show, though. I think the Jets are going to be a little tougher than maybe you expect. I liked Anthony's score, 33-27. But it could be more the 38-27. I think they'll put points on. Your defense they're struggling at certain areas, and you're not going to have Oliver with a rotation. And that offensive line really moved the Steelers. I was extraordinarily impressed. Unless the Steelers just weren't there, it's a good sign for this Jets team. And
Hayward
remember, Fields, he's a real – I'm sorry, Anthony, what?
Hayward did say that, and I thought this was kind of strange, but he did say after the game that, his mind maybe was in the right spot leading into the game, and he promises to get better moving forward. So maybe it was something like that with all the contract stuff going on. Maybe he wasn't at his full potential, but still impressive.
Watt as well. I thought Watt's been kind of underperforming lately as well.
Mm-hmm. So maybe
I do. I kind of feel like a little bit late, like going back from last year. I don't think I think he's a great, really good player, but I feel like he's had his little struggles here as of late. But go ahead. By the way, Zach saying our Zach from last year, our buddy Zach.
Yeah. Zach, man, what's going on, brother?
Who's in Syracuse? Had a great comeback win last weekend, by the way. And he thought it was over. He was at the game. I'm like, hold on, you never know. And then Syracuse wound up winning, and Zach was a happy Orangeman after the game. But he's saying to you, did you have a podcasters only meeting after week one, or was that just a Dolphins thing? So,
it's just so obvious. It's like the giant wart on the old witch's nose. You just can't help but stare at it. Zach,
you
you're
and
great, man. Yes,
TD,
you're a good guy.
Curtis, TD, you all got together with all the other Dudley Do Wrong. Held a podcasters only meeting about your Dolphins. That would be actually pretty funny, man. Podcasters only
An intervention moment.
Yeah. You guys all to get together. Oh my God. All right, Juan, what's your score prediction, man?
So I don't know if you know this about like elite quarterbacks over their histories. In their division, there's always one team that they always beat the living shit out of, no matter what's going on in life. And there's always one team that gives them a little bit of the bugaboos. For example, for Tom, for example, the Bills, he beat the shit out of them all the time. But the Dolphins, he would always lose at Miami no matter what.
Crazy, right? Yeah.
And then the Jets would give him like a year, maybe once a year, they'll give him a little bit of a fit, right? So Mahomes, for example, a more modern one. The Broncos are usually the team when he goes to Denver, he does not play well there for whatever reason. He even sometimes loses to them for whatever reason. So the Lamar, he can't fuck with the Steelers. For whatever reason, the Steelers is the team that he cannot fuck with. He always plays bad against them. But he beats the shit out of, I believe, the Browns is the team that he fucks up. Burrow can't fuck with the Browns for whatever reason. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, weird, right?
But he always gives the Ravens the work. He always puts up 30 on them, no matter what. So for your guy, you always beat the shit out of the Dolphins. It don't matter what time of day. It doesn't matter where they are. They can be in Venus. They can be in another universe. They're going to fuck up the Dolphins. Josh Allen always does it.
True.
The Jets is the team that, for whatever reason, at New York is not always the best game. So I have a little bit of proof. For the last 4 years, he's lost twice at New York and has not put up more than, I think, 26, something like that, in the last 4 meetings. For whatever reason, at New York, he doesn't play his best game, or at least the team, not him, but the team itself. So what I'm trying to say,
at New York,
I'm trying to say,
at New Jersey, you got it wrong.
Jersey,
baby. Not in Connecticut.
One knows.
No,
one knows.
What's happening this Sunday, boy?
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, I am picking Buffalo to win this game, but I think you guys are favored by 6.5 on the road, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
I think the Jets cover that. I think this is gonna be a closer game. I like 20. I'm gonna go 26-21. The Jets will keep pace. It'll be a nice, fun, entertaining game. But you guys, you have Josh Allen, so there's nothing much you can really do when it comes to that point. Justin Fields, Josh Allen, little duel. I did not expect to be hearing about coming into the season, but we may have a little bit of that this Sunday. Without Ed Oliver, you guys should be able to run the football fairly well to keep Josh Allen on the sideline for a little longer than he wants. But I don't think it'll stop him from putting up 26 points. And I think that's enough points to win. I like 26-21 Jets. Jets covered that spread. And just look good again. Losing, but look good.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, Juan. I do. But I think the Jets' defense also isn't the same as it was.
They didn't. And I'm trusting that they start to fix it a little bit.
When we had some of
their head coach is a defensive coach.
Right.
So I would hope so.
And I also go by what they put, what how many points they surrendered last weekend to an older quarterback, a team that's not, I don't think is better than my team offensively. So I kind of got to go with that. But I hear what you're saying. That fucking stupid Jets fucking turf. Hopefully no injuries. Knock on wood. Fucking
don't mention it. Don't.
Can you fix your goddamn stadium already?
They really need to. In the last game against the Steelers,
you think
there was 4 plays where someone just randomly slipped out of nowhere, like the ghost of MetLife just pulled them down. Brandon Stevens had probably a game-sealing interception right in his hands, and nobody around him. He just slips and freaking drops the ball. Justin Fields running a read option, and he slips, and that's a scary situation when you're running quarterback. You lose your legs.
Absolutely.
By so many players that have gone to that stadium, pass rushers alike, have gone. They're being aggressive. They're running off the edge, and all that power just slipping. Tearing Achilles, tearing ACL, everything is up for grabs on that. It's got to get fixed. And the thing that's stupid about it is that they put grass in last year sometime for, I want to say it was when
soccer probably, right?
Soccer championship.
Because soccer, they don't refuse to play on turf.
Yeah. They came out there and they put grass on the field for a soccer team. But it's an NFL football stadium. You're not going to put grass for the football team.
Right. It's crazy.
Teams play there. 2 teams play there.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't. Thank God our new stadium is going to have grass and heated, which is crazy. Our new stadium is going to be legit when it's up, man. But yeah, dude. I by the way, did you see Eckler? He got his Achilles, and I felt so bad for that dude. You know it right away when it's a non-contact and they go down holding the back of their ankle. You knew it. Like you don't even need to see the replay. Like when it's an Achilles, man. That's brutal, and that's it for him. And he's an aging running back. Like that's man, the chances of him coming back, like slim. All right, so the very last thing before we get out of here, let's get to the rant of the week if anyone has one.
It was a horse performance in the second half. I'm totally embarrassed and totally ashamed. Coaching did a horrible job. The players did a horrible job. We got our ass kicked in that second half. It sucked. It stunk.
Ain't nothing like that no more, man.
I love coaches that talk like that just speak truth, man. I love it. I wish my coach would do that more often. Just come on, man. Enough with the coach talk. Just tell us how it is. If you fucking blow, if your quarterback sucked ass, tell me or let us know. I'll respect that. I will respect that way more than going, oh, look at the film. It's like, dude, wish we could have some, we didn't play complimentary football. Oh, shut the fuck up. But just tell us you sucked ass. Be honest for a minute. But anyways, my rant of the week, and you guys, if you want to let me, that was, I'm getting two. Yeah, no, that was just off that. But my real rant of the week is these fucking people with the NFL scripted crap. I fucking hate that, dude. Stop. Like I had somebody tell me the game between the Ravens and the Bills are scripted. I said, bro, are you fucking kidding? Yeah, okay. So the Keon call, it got tipped, and that's all. They all talked about it prior to the game. We're going to throw this. It's going to get tipped, and he's going to die. Like, stop, bro. It's not scripted. It's how football works, sports work. You can go in high school basketball game. I was telling him a story. High school basketball game that I played in, we were up 15 with 5 minutes to go. And they wind up winning on a full court shot that had no business winning. But all the little plays that led up to that game, we are fucking around, doing bad passes, trying to do alley, doing dumb shit, right? And before you know it, it's a 10-point lead. Before you know it's 8. And then you get free throws. You're thinking, oh, you got this in hand. It's like point whatever second. They throw a fucking full court, win the game by 1 point. It's crazy, but it happens. It's sports. It's not over till it's over. It's not scripted. It's impossible for the only time I would say it's possible is on a one-on-one boxing. Fine. If the guy's paid to take a fall, okay. And that's not scripted. That's just the guy taking money to get to fall. It has nothing to do with script. But scripted in a pro sports setting, I don't buy it. Now, can a ref cheat because he has a bet going? Sure. Can he call some bullshit calls to try to favor his betting? Yes. I agree. I understand that happens. Yeah, that's happened, right? There's proof in that. Boxing's tough. There are boxers that take falls. There's refs that take payouts. There's refs that I get that, but scripted, that's so crazy, bro, to me. You guys are anyone that believes that is out of their fucking mind. There's no way.
I want to know who the guy is scripting that hates the Jets so much.
This guy's right. And the both teams are secretly getting together and going, okay, guys, in WWE mode. All right, we're gonna do this. Now we want it to be we wanted this to be dramatic.
Who's our jobbers? Cleveland, and you're the jobbers of the year. You guys get asked for everything.
But we need this to go perfect, though. We need the pass to be tipped, and we need this to happen. And you need to make sure to catch the ball or drop the ball or fumble the stop. It's so ridiculous. And then of course they want to show proof. You see this guy? He stopped on that play. He could have sacked him there. It's like, dude, what? Have you ever played pro sports? Or are you just sitting in your basement thinking? And by the way, if you really feel that way, why are you watching?
Why are you watching?
Why are you invested? Why do you care?
Why are you around?
Right. What is going on here? Right. So, once again, I think it's just the most naive, dumb take. And if you believe that, fine, but don't bring that to me. Go elsewhere. And why are you watching? Why do you care then? If it's scripted, it's fake. Then why? Okay. Then okay. That's your opinion, but why you care? Why you watch? Why are you invested? It makes zero sense to me. So yeah, that's my rant. I just don't understand it. You guys have any rants?
No,
I'm a Dolphins fan at Rantle.
yeah. Anthony, got anything or no?
Yeah, I got something that really like
All right.
irritates me a little bit. Listen, I like these international games. I think they're a fun game to watch every once in a while, especially for these international fans. However, I kind of disagree with making games that could be critical to standings, especially a divisional game like Week 1, Chargers versus Chiefs. Like, first off, and it worked out for the Chargers; they won the game. But you're taking the Chargers, you're making them lose a home game against their division rival, a game that could be huge in the standings later in the year, and just for growing your
money.
For money. But
for
you know what, you can do other games that maybe aren't as critical in the standings, like that 17th game where where the AFC team is playing a random NFC team that doesn't really matter. Have that be your international game. See if it grows that way, and then you can see what happens in the future. But a divisional game, having a team lose a home game,
that's bullshit.
That's where it gets crazy for me a little bit. But I do understand trying to grow the game, but you got to figure out, you got to pick and choose what maybe makes sense.
Yeah, that's bullshit too. I hate that.
WWE, for example, yesterday they announced that they're not this WrestleMania coming up. The next one, they're putting that shit in Saudi Arabia. So they're taking their grand fucking event. That's like taking the Super Bowl and putting that shit in. Like it's such a disgusting.
It's so stupid.
It's disgusting. I was so upset. Like that type of shit will make you lose some fans, but they don't go fuck.
Absolutely,
it's coming, so they don't care.
Oh yeah, paper's coming.
The time is different when they go overseas. You got to get it doesn't feel like a big event anymore. It takes away, and especially like you said, NFL. You're taking a home game away. Like, come on, then what are we talking about now? What's really a home game then? Like that though, and I don't like teams that share football fields with other teams. I know there's not a lot, but the Giants and Jets shouldn't share a stadium. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me. Like college teams should have their own fucking stadium. Like how are the Hurricanes still playing in the fucking pro, in pro player stadium, whatever the fuck it's called now. Get your own stadium. Why are you fucking around here? Baseball shouldn't be in a football stadium. Like it's wacky to me. I mean, I don't get it. These billionaires, get your own fucking stadium. Stop doing international play. NFL, get shit right. Go to grass. Force these owners to get grass in their stadium. Stop with the turf shit. Everyone complains. It's your players that make you the money. Stop with this shit. Like, come on, man. Yeah, I don't get. I know I went on a third rant. Jesus Christ! All right. Anyways, spin. Shut up, spin. All right. So, anyways, guys, everybody, we appreciate you guys taking the time with us today on this 2-hour. AFC East Shakedown. Anthony, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Jets Life Podcast, and you can find me on YouTube, the Jets Life Podcast. Hit me up. Subscribe to the channel. Like it. It's a lot of fun.
There you go, Curtis.
If you haven't already, hit the like button. Subscribe to Tommy's channel. This guy's doing a great job getting it all together. It's a lot of fun every week.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys rocking with me this year again. I love this show, man. Curtis, what you got, man? Where you? I can't see that. That fucking sign isn't lit up back there, by the way.
Well, if it gets lit up, then
it's like that motherfucker up. Light it up.
Yeah, I do the YouTube thing. Ace per head back there. Curtis Ace per head. I'm here with my man Tommy and Anthony and Juan on, as you probably can tell right now. And then I'm also on Finn's Faithful podcast with every week now with George at 10:30. That's my 3 things. I do that. Sometimes Twitter, but that makes me go crazy. So it's in and out with that. So that's where you can find me. Besides sitting in my corner crying and like, why did I pick the Dolphins and what am I going to do going forward? Man. All
right. And then obviously where you can find Juan is in New York, baby, in the Bronx.
Baby. It's right here. Right here in the AFC East Shakedown, boy. That's where you find it.
That's right. So we'll be back. I think Captain D returns next weekend as well. He's coming back from his cruise this week, I think he comes back tomorrow. So. Yeah, big time guy over there. He didn't get to see your Dolphins, so it was like crap. So
I'm sure he's heartbroken. Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next weekend, next Saturday at 12. Bills Mafia, everybody in the chat, we appreciate you guys. Go Bills are out of here. Peace.
Jets.
Oh, good Lord. Go Bills. Jets.
Bye-bye.
See, Peter, he's too fast.
You gotta tackle me. It's B. You gotta press B.
I'm pressing B. He's too fast.
Going over here? Going over here now? Never get tired.